Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault. And you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom. The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican for each service Latino.
That's literally not true.
Oh, for crumb's sake.
Is that correct?
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope you had a wonderful, awesome weekend. I know I did. Managed to get to the beach. No, I did not go live from the beach, but it's okay. You didn't miss anything because I found nothing. It was an epic failure of a metal detecting trip, but I had a lot of fun in doing it. Found a couple dollars in coins. Zero jewelry. Zero. A couple fishing lures. And that's about it. Walked a few miles, and I got pelted by a rainstorm that came out of nowhere, like sideways. That was fun. All right. Good morning, one and all. Welcome. Good to have you here. It is Monday. We are super excited. Super excited to kick off a Monday for sure. All right. Fun as everything. It is. It was a blast. I did. Maybe I'll show you the video. I did spot what I thought was a drunk driver on the way down.
Oh, attorney who is examining the witnesses to argue the point. Again, we're not going to have motions from the state or the defense or any objection arguing as well. Everyone's clear on those.
He started. Judge, we haven't done birthdays yet. You're going to have to wait.
I am not crossing Wendi Adelson, but I am the one who's prepared for
the proffer.
Yes.
When it's time to handle that part of it. They can come in. They can come in, Deputy. When you come in, please take a seat. Be quiet.
It's a circus.
As far as the proffer is concerned, that will be out of the presence of the jury. So with that, that's really not an issue. Who does what?
Yes, sir. And we resolved all but one. There was a state provided us with materials. There was one that was objectionable. Ms. Kaplan agreed to withdraw that from the exhibit. But there is only one remaining pleading that is still subject to the proffer, the foundation.
This is what happens.
Please find your seats this morning.
This is what happens when you don't open the courtroom until the judge is ready to start. The crowd is coming in. We get to see them all. All right, we have to sing happy birthday, which means we might have to pause and catch up just for a minute. No, let's just do it. Let's just do that first. All right, let's sing happy birthday to Jimmy, Mark, and Susie. It goes like this. Everyone stand up, take a breath, shoulders back, project your voice to the back of the room, blend your voice with the neighbor. Warm up with me if you will. La 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 la. There we go. Here we go. We're going to sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jimmy, Mark, and Susie. Happy birthday to you.
Again, we're going to be the cell phones out. You need to silence your cell phones or go ahead and turn them off entirely. Also, as well, for the witnesses, no cell phones will be pointing at the witnesses or the members of the jury. If you need to step out while the witness is testifying today, please remain outside until that witness has finished with their testimony. Do we have any questions at all concerning the conduct of the gallery while the trial is going on? So this is pretty simple and self-evident, but there are no bad questions. If you have questions, please let us know. All right. With there being no questions also as well, if you need to speak with each other, please step outside into the hallway so that way there's no disruption or disturbances for the jury. Also, while the testimony is going on, there's not to be any head nodding or any gesturing or any motioning that would indicate you're either agreeing with or disagreeing with what the witnesses are saying. If you have an issue with controlling your ability to do this, please step outside as well. We have all of our parties present this morning, including the defendant who is present with counsel. Ms. Adelson, do you have your device to assist your hearing? All right, it's working properly.
Wow. You guys, happy birthday. I realize a million places
To
to be.
complement the issue that we need to work through
Birthday free
concerning
pancakes.
the
That's it. That's all
foundation,
we
do you
got.
have the witness available to do this proffering?
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, you have a copy.
Okay, not even a drum solo. We're done.
Copy of State's Exhibit 60 on the bench. I provided a copy to the defense as well. This contains all of the divorce documents that the defense objected to last week with Detective Isom. It includes one additional pleading, the grandma motion, as it's been referenced previously. That's tab JJ in your book there. So each tab represents a divorce filing, and behind the divorce filing in each tab is the supporting documentation for that document to show that Donna Adelson was aware of that particular pleading. So the state is going to be seeking to introduce this exhibit. My understanding is the only issue in contention at this time is the JJ tab. So we will call Investigator Newland at this time to address that issue.
All right, Zimmy, congratulations. You were first in chat.
If you can come up and take the stand.
I thought we had a few minutes. I thought we still had 4 minutes before they were going to start. But Zimmy, first in chat. The internet's all
Please raise
yours,
your
my
right hand
friends.
and be sworn for proffer. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give the truth?
I swear.
You may take your seat. You may inquire, Ms. Compliment, when you are ready.
Thank you, Judge. I just need about 30 seconds.
Oh, now you get 30 seconds. We could have used 30 seconds on the front end. So we just barely kicked things off. You haven't missed a thing. The judge walked down to the gallery and laid down the law as far as conduct goes.
Deputies, if we've run out of seating room, is there an overflow area?
Yeah, it's outside in your car. Watch on YouTube. We have run out of seating. Today's going to be spicy. We could have Wendi on the stand. We've got a deputy on the stand who's going to lay foundation for divorce proceedings. Is that what I heard? Oh, good. Whose phone?
Turn those phones off, please.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
My name is Jason Newlin, Jasonnewlin.
How are you employed, sir?
I'm an investigator with the State Attorney's Office here in Tallahassee.
Were you asked to assist in assembling the notebook that's known as State's Exhibit 60?
Yes.
And does State's Exhibit 60 contain each of the divorce filings that we were able to directly link to Donna Adelson, meaning show that through some other means that she had knowledge of those pleadings?
Yes.
And is the book organized such that each tab has the pleading, and then right behind that tab will be the supporting documentation associated with that tab?
That's correct.
That's a leading
I want to draw
question.
your attention to tab JJ,
It's foundational, though.
which specifically contains page 441 through 456 of Dan Markel and Wendi Adelson's divorce pleadings. This is a pleading entitled what?
Former husband's counter motion for enforcement of MSA on parenting issues and motion for contempt and sanctions.
And is this the motion that we have referred to throughout preparation for this trial as the grandma motion?
Yes.
Is that because this is the motion in which Dan Markel is seeking to limit or restrict Donna Adelson's contact with his children?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the language, grandma says that the kids are reporting to him, grandma says you're stupid, that sort of thing, that's what's in this motion.
That's correct.
Okay. And on what date was this motion filed by Dan Markel?
March 26, 2014.
Okay. And is there an email predating that filing in which Dan Markel sends Wendi Adelson the content of what ends up in this motion, the allegations that end up in this motion, and outlines them for her?
Yes.
And was that email forwarded to Donna Adelson?
Yes, it was.
On what date was that email forwarded to Donna Adelson?
December 17th, 2013.
And is that email contained in State's Exhibit 60JJ.2?
Yes, it is.
All right. And was there a response to Wendi forwarding this stuff to Donna?
Yes, there was.
And what was the response?
Wow.
All right. And is there another email the next day in which Wendi forwards the parenting coordinator's response to Dan's allegations of grandparental alienation?
Yes, there was.
All right. And is that what the email that's marked as JJ.3?
Yes.
And this is the one that, for some reason, when we print it out, comes out in a big, weird formatting block?
Yes.
For some reason.
But this email was sent from Wendi to her mother?
Dear Mom and Dad. Yes.
Okay. And on what date?
December 18th, 2013.
Okay. And that's addressed Dear Mom and Dad?
That's correct.
And that contains the same allegations that are later contained in State's Exhibit JJ?
Yes.
Okay. And when the motion was actually filed on 3/26 of 14, do you have any evidence as to where Donna Adelson was located at that time?
Traveling to Orlando on her way to Tallahassee, Florida.
All right, so she wasn't forwarded the actual motion.
Not that we
right?
can tell.
Okay, and is that
One
consistent?
moment. Turn off the phone.
Okay, we're counting two of these. The
Please
judges
continue.
And
read the law
is
a couple times.
her presence in Tallahassee when the motion was actually filed, or actually she was on her way at the time it was filed, consistent with why she might not have been forwarded that exact pleading when she was forwarded other pleadings?
Correct.
All right, no further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Jackie Ferreira, welcome to the gallery. Thank you so much. Judge is not playing.
Good morning.
Morning.
The email
No jury here right now.
JJ2 that is dated December 18th of 2013, that was sent to an email address shared by Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson, correct?
Correct.
You don't know who responded wow, do you?
I do not.
And with respect to Donna Adelson driving from Orlando to Tallahassee at the time that the motion was filed on March 26, 2014, you don't have any evidence that that motion was shared with Donna, do you?
No.
Nothing further?
Going to redirect for Investigator Nolan.
In the research you did on all the filings preceding JJ, were many of those sent to the shared email address, donnaharvey@gmail.com?
Most of them, yes.
Okay. And in many of those, does Donna respond in a way that we can confirm that it's Donna Adelson responding as opposed to Harvey Adelson?
Wow was a common response from many emails signed Love Mom.
Right, but my question is, in a lot of them, do we have a pattern of Donna responding to those emails?
Yes.
And we have a pattern of her doing so such that we can say this one is Donna, not potentially Harvey.
That's correct.
Objection calls for speculation.
And leading.
Overruled, if he is aware of the pattern through his investigation, he may testify confidently on this point.
Meaning they're signed mom,
Yes.
or they say dad and I, whatever, with context indicating Donna's the author as opposed to Harvey.
That's correct.
Nothing further, Judge.
You messed that down, Investigator.
Cough drop.
Any other witnesses or evidence to offer concerning the issue of the property?
No, Your Honor, not all we're learning about is that tab.
Okay, laid the foundation.
Sullivan, you may make any final argument concerning JJ of State 60.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, it's the defense position that the state's argument is entirely speculative. In Investigator Newland's testimony, he indicated that the pattern indicated that when Donna was responding to these emails with pleadings, she would sign it with her name, or she would indicate dad and I. This response, JJ2, just says wow exclamation point. As a result, Your Honor, it's our position that the state cannot establish a foundation for admission of JJ1, which is the March 26, 2014 counter motion that the state has nicknamed the grandmother motion.
Scott Holman, you may briefly respond.
Judge, the email was sent to a joint email that we can prove was routinely checked and responded to by Donna Adelson. She routinely checked and responded to emails specifically in reference to this divorce, and the pattern and totality of the testimony will show that she was the one that was primarily engaged in receiving pleadings, giving feedback on pleadings, even drafting and editing pleadings on Wendy's behalf. So I think the fact that the email was shared, and if the defense wants to point that out and argue that maybe it was Harvey that responded to this particular email, then they're free to do that. I think that goes to weight, not admissibility. I think it's important that the second time the email was shared, it was directed to mom and dad, meaning it was specifically directed to Donna and Harvey, so not just to Harvey.
The foundation for this item will need to be established. It sounds through multiple witnesses, both Investigator Newland and also through the testimony of Wendi Adelson. However, once the pattern has been demonstrated, I will find based on this can be admitted if the pattern in fact does show that both either Donna Adelson or Harvey Adelson would both respond from this email concerning matters of the divorce, and the communications do in fact match other communications that were made specifically by the defendant. Concerning the limiting instruction that was discussed on Friday, if the defense is still seeking this, the court would provide the instruction. This evidence may be considered for demonstrating state of mind, motive, or intent, unless you're seeking some other form of limiting instruction, specifically as to 60 JJ.
Just a moment, Your Honor.
Speak now if you want anything more. The jury should be in here right about 9 o'clock within the next 8 minutes. See if there's anything else we need to handle outside the presence of the jury.
Judge, can you read that to us again, please?
This evidence may be considered for demonstrating the defendant's state of mind, motive, or intent as far as any arguments that Donna Adelson is in fact not the person who sent the wow response because it was shared. Certainly the defense is free to cross-examine on that point and present any evidence or argument in support of that position. But I am going to find that these matters being argued go to weight, not admissibility, if the pattern can be demonstrated by both the investigator and Wendi Adelson and their knowledge of these communications or investigation.
That's, defense appreciates that and agrees with the language.
Very well. Ms. Kappelman, do you wish for State 60 to remain at the bench, or will you need it back for the moment?
I have a copy, Judge, so if you'd like to keep it for your use, that's fine, or I can retrieve it.
All right. I will just keep it up here then next to my trial notebook. Are there any other matters that we need to address before the jurors are brought in for this morning?
No, Your Honor.
I believe, as previously discussed before last week on Friday, as it relates to Wendi Adelson, if the defense is still seeking to take a proffer as to matters that would be both relevant and would not, at least in their review of the evidence, go to Mrs. Adelson's Fifth Amendment privilege, I will allow you to take a proffer out of the presence of the jury concerning that matter. Is Mr. Loro present so he understands what will take place?
That's her lawyer.
I don't think he's present, Judge. I think I told them 10 o'clock.
All right. When it's time for her to take the stand, she will be testifying pursuant to the state subpoena and any immunity that would attach under the state subpoena. After that examination has concluded, the jurors will be taken out of the room so the proffer can take place. I believe Mr. Loro's position on this matter has been clear throughout as to anything but a state subpoena which confers immunity. He or his client intends to invoke her privilege against self-incrimination. As to that, he will be informed of the defense being able to take a proffer, since the proffer was not possible at the time the motion was argued. Again, depending on what the questions are and whether she will still intend to invoke the privilege. At that time, the court will make a ruling. I did, though, want to make sure both parties are aware as it relates to the cases on the invocation of the privilege under federal law and both state law. The defense is going to have a high hurdle to clear with this. I believe cases go to the lines of the privilege not only protects the answers that would in themselves support a conviction under a federal or state criminal statute, but likewise embraces those which would furnish a link in the chain of evidence. And to that point, I believe that is where Mr. Loro's argument lies. But Mr. Zellman, again, you'll have your opportunity to make your proffer to determine whether in fact there is something that is relevant and does not go to the proper invocation of the privilege. All right. While we're awaiting the jurors, I believe we told them to report at 9:15. If there are any needs that the parties need to attend to, please do so now. If anyone needs to use the restroom, please do so now. Once the jurors arrive, we will bring them in and we'll get started with our first witness for the day. Does either party need to be heard about this any further?
No, Your Honor. You'd like to start at
9:15, I believe that's when the jurors were told to report.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, now we got our break.
Still no going out and doing testimony.
All right, so I had just a little stack of some Blue Diamond almonds, wasabi, and soy sauce.
So now, this is the time.
It just barely came in, but it's going to be a spicy day. I can tell already. Do we have a late ad to the birthdays after the birthday song? Is that what we have, Red Pen? They're dangerously good. I know they're so good. They're yummy. I'm trying to get them off my fingers right now. Okay, we need to do one more verse of Happy Birthday for Bora Bora, and then we're going to start. We've got 15 minutes. We've got a few things to explain in the meantime. none of the least of which is not the law and laughs counter. So we'll explain that in just a second. So we'll do a quick happy birthday to Bora Bora. It's going to start quick. Ready? Everyone's still in tune from last time? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bora Bora. Happy birthday to you. There it goes. That was it. Thank you, Bora Bora. Happy birthday. And free pancakes to everybody, by the way, at all the usual places. I can't name brands anymore because suddenly, how did places that serve pancakes suddenly become political? I don't know. So, got to be careful of those. All right, recap, please. What just happened this morning was a proffer of a detective's testimony regarding the emails that were included in the divorce proceedings to lay a foundation and hopefully get the judge's approval to say, can we bring these in this case because we think they're relevant. The judge basically said, yeah, you have to lay the proper foundation in front of the jury and establish the pattern of how she responds. And if you can link that pattern, connect the dots, then I'm going to let him come in. Then he mentions Wendi, who I believe will be testimony today, who has a subpoena from the state and an immunity agreement from the state, which is very specific. And Wendi has a lawyer. She does not want to testify. She did not want the immunity deal. She wanted to plead the fifth, but the immunity deal takes that option away because pleading the fifth says, I'm not going to say anything because if I do, it can be used against me. Immunity deal says we're not going to use it against you. And now you can't plead the fifth because it can't hurt you if you testify. So there's going to be a proffer involving Wendi, which means you get to hear it once outside the presence of the jury and once in the presence of the jury. The one outside the presence of the jury might get spicy because it might push the limits a little bit as far as what they're supposed to ask, and that's what the judge was mentioning here most recently, saying that the case law shows that she's, protected. She can plead the fifth on anything that would incriminate her as well as might form a link to something that incriminates her. And her lawyer is going to be there to give the nod or shake the head at questions as well. So, RDB, happy birthday. I think it's RDB. Happy birthday. I'm sorry, we missed you. Happy birthday, RDB. 60 years old. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear RDB. Happy birthday to you. Okay, let me just say, though, you guys need to get the birthdays in before it's the day that's your birthday. You got to get with the program. We've got a form that's been up for over a year. You had more than a year to get them in. So tomorrow, no late ads. We just got, court starts. So, all right. She's a lawyer. She won't talk, but she will twist her answers. But she also has a lawyer as well. But can she get arrested even though she has? Yes, Tony. This is the thing. She could be arrested. She could be charged in this investigation. But they can't use anything she says here or anything they discover through her testimony here against her in her trial. That's the way it goes. They basically have to have all their evidence already against her. Something they've collected outside of this hearing, outside of this trial. It's going to be good. Let's see. Amber says, and Recovery Addict, I do a daily post on the Facebook group with the birthday form link each and every morning and tag all in the group. You do. Let's see. All right, let me explain the little law and laughs counter. Every time we have a trial, we like to count things. And we used to count things that were... it was fun, but not fun for everybody, if you know what I mean. Like, say, for instance, Shannon in the Crumbly trial, the lawyer, she said sorry a lot, or not sorry. And so we did a sorry, not sorry counter. And it got mentioned, because I guess we weren't the only one doing it, but it got mentioned in closing. We've also been mentioned by the judge every time, like in the burn pile murder. A judge said a lot. We counted how many times he said His wife, the judge's wife, saw that and brought it to his attention. And he mentioned it. All in good fun. We know from, direct contact that that neither one of those individuals were offended by that. But I decided to change the counter to be something that is less directed at one person. But in this particular instance, it is one person. It's the judge. We think this judge is phenomenal. And so we're counting his law and laughs counter. When he lays down the law or he makes us laugh, that goes up. And so if he tells a joke, if he cracks a joke, if he does something funny, if he really comes down hard on somebody, that's when the counter goes up. And we're up to 11 already. All right. Robin says, I actually just threw the paper out with the sorry tally. You did all the counting for it. That was amazing, Robin. Thank you very much. If Wendi spills the tea now, it will not be used in the future trial like excluded? Yes. Well, not be used against her. Is there anyone else that it could be used against? Possibly. But not against her. Ari's goal is always not to be mentioned in court. I prefer to stay out of the record as much as possible. Unsuccessful sometimes. Yes, homeschool is in session now. Not in full swing. We actually start our regular homeschool session next week. But this week, she's doing an advanced class with my oldest homeschooled boy, which is child number 4. And they're doing a college level class together that's like a really condensed thing. So they're doing that for a week and then homeschool starts. All right. She gets to skate free? No, she doesn't. That's the thing. She has to testify. But what she says today can't be used against her. That doesn't mean if I say it in this trial, you can't use it against me. If the police already had it against her, they can use it against her. If she's just confirming something, we already knew. We already had your email. We already had your phone. We already had you on video doing that. You can't just say, oh, and I did this, and then not let that be used against you. It's just her testimony today that they can't say, if she were to be charged, they can't take the testimony and say, isn't it true that on August 25th, you were at another proceeding and you said that you lined up and use that test. They can't do that. She has a deal. Does he get college credit for his class? He does. So if there's a chance that Wendi was going to get charged, would it not be smart for her just to spill the beans right now so she couldn't be used in her trial? I don't know. I don't know what she's going to do. Is she going to throw her mom under the bus? Is she going to deny everything? The deal only holds up if she tells the truth. So I don't know. I think she's got to talk. Maybe she'll get amnesia really badly. Why are they picking them off one by one in this case? I think because they can, Erica. And the state has a set batch of evidence, for lack of a better word. What they know is what they know, and where they got it is where they got it from. And there were a lot of players involved, and as we've learned from the whole drive-by and getaway car driver scenario, if a crime goes down, somebody gets shot in a robbery, the getaway driver is just as guilty as the guy who shot the person in the robbery. We've got many people like that, including, as a matter of fact, a getaway driver. But the state has limited evidence. They don't have a video showing everything with connections and clean ties. Some of it is inferred. Some of it is like circumstantial. But what they can do every time they try somebody in this case is they can take that evidence and present it in the light that's least favorable for the person they're charging. So some of the evidence we're hearing right now from the state that says this is proof that Donna did this might in the future be used by the state to say this is proof that Harvey did this, or this is proof that Wendi did this, and it's the same evidence. We're just looking at it differently and interpreting it differently, and the state is allowed to do that. So you might have heard some of this evidence be used directly against Charlie, inferring that he was the one that was managing, controlling, or driving this, and now we're going to hear it used against Donna with the same argument. So, Mrs. R.A. Mrs. R.A. just brought in a treat. It's a homemade from Sam's Club premix box. Pumpkin muffin. Is it pumpkin muffin? It's a pumpkin spice muffin, and it's hot. It's hot. Let's see. Wendi has to know she's up next. I think she knows that there's a threat. Hi from Shanghai. Hello to Shanghai. Welcome. How is throwing Charlie under the bus going to interact with his I was extorted appeals that are going to... Sub Rosa? I don't know, because obviously when he has an appeal, he has like the right to plead the fifth, because his lawyer's going to be like, don't talk. It will be bad for you if you talk. We'll see. We'll see how this goes down. Hey, Jen? Sorry, 1 second. Did she like the flowers? Must have. Yes, she liked the flowers, but she now left and didn't come back. And she only gave me one muffin, so maybe she didn't like them very much. Let's see. What treasure did you find at the beach? A couple dollars in coins is all. I will say this. The beach was eroded. I probably should have gone there at the low tide 12 hours before. Because tide comes in and out about every 6 hours roughly, right? I was probably a day late on the beach. The weather was better for me, but the beach that used to be like a nice flat area where everyone camped, and then there was like a little cut and then the water down there. The beach was gone. It's basically a slant like this from the dunes that have like grasses and stuff growing on them, which some of those were just washed out, all the way down to the water. It was just a straight ramp. Big waves still, and just very little space for anything. And I think it all got carved away and then sucked down, so we've got sand on top of it. It's just not, it wasn't the best. And then I broke my sand scoop probably 10 minutes in, which made it so I couldn't stand and use it like a shovel. I had to like get down my knees and use it like a hand tool every time. And then 3 hours later, I broke the arm cuff on my metal detector, which makes it impossible to swing the detector because it just flops around on your wrist. So yeah, I broke both of those, so I need to replace them. But Kelly H gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Kelly. I appreciate your generosity. That went to Lisa Pie. This is now the second sand scoop I've gone through. The first one, I spent a ton of money on a stainless steel stamped hexagonal hole White's brand sand scoop, which was amazing. Loved it. Put a cheap Home Depot wooden shovel handle on it, which was heavy, and loved that as well. It was just a heavy handle. Should have gone with the carbon fiber. I leaned it against my car when I was done metal detecting one time, and was putting the metal detectors in, and as I'm rinsing them off, and closed everything up and drove away with it still leaning against the car. I never saw it again. It's gone. The sand scoop, it was like $130 just for the head. It was so expensive, but it was so good. Okay, can you ask chat to press the like for Monday morning? We can, Sunshine Sarah. Thank you very much for those who clicked the like button. Already 533 of you have found your way to the deposit button where you deposit your DNA. 4 more just did it as well. It's the cost of metal detecting. Luckily, I do earn enough money from change metal detecting to usually pay for those things every year. So if I detect a lot, I can make $1,000 a year just in loose change, which is pretty good for a hobby to pay for itself. It's not bad. All right. Birdie B, congratulations. Your daughter's wedding photos just downloaded. They're beautiful. Congratulations to you and your daughter. We are waiting about 2 minutes from now. The jury is expected to come in, and we're going to kick things off, and it's going to get spicy, I think, fairly early on. We've got some contentious evidence, emails, and this is what a lot of the testimony against Donna is going to be in this email and texting type scenario. We've got some of that coming in. Let's see. Not my DNA. I use someone else's finger. Oh, nice. And a little bit dark at the same time. Are you saving pennies now? I always have. I've always saved every coin I find. Unless there are some kids there. If there are kids there that are want to... First of all, a couple things. Metal detecting is a dying hobby, right? It literally is. Fewer people are picking it up than are retiring permanently. And so... It bodes badly for us because if people don't metal detect, they don't do it properly. If only the bad people metal detect, the people who are out like stealing stuff from somebody's property in the dark of night, then the laws get changed and pretty soon metal detecting is not legal anywhere. So we need clubs to be active. We need new blood to come in and people to get trained properly. So I always like teaching kids how to metal detect. So if there's some kids who are like, hey, what are you doing? And I don't be like, bug off, kid. No, I don't do that. I always try to teach them and say, hey, do you want to see? I'll ask the parent, is it all right if I show them how this works? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, sure. And we'll do a little mini science class and we'll find a coin or something, let them dig it up and let them keep it. I think that's the best way to get people involved in the hobby is to see how it works and find some success. And what's better than finding treasure for a kid? I mean, it's awesome. So anyway, when I'm doing that, I let them keep the coins, but I do try to keep the rings. Sometimes you have to fight them for the rings. Man, if you find a ring when a kid's who's like, I found that. I'm like, no, I found that. I was just showing you how it worked. But, all right. So I love that show. It is spot on. The writers nailed it. Lisa Pye, member for 24 months. Lisa with a gifted membership comes in with a 2-year mark. Congratulations. 2 years. That makes you an OG. Mo in the deep end. Welcome. Mo and fellow Deep Enders, welcome to y'all. Good to have you here. Let's see. I'm 43 and I would 100% learn how to metal detect. It's so cool. It is. And it's so much fun, honestly. I have like 6 metal detectors, which is probably 5 more than I need. But I'm radio operator, same problem. It is. Same problem with the hobby as well. With it, it's a dying hobby.
Everyone can be seated.
Here we go. Everyone be quiet. Remember what the judge said about your cell phones.
Everyone's reported. Good to go? Yes, sir. Oh, need the state.
We're waiting for the state. Wow. Man, that's awesome. I did find my dad's lost ring a year later after he lost it. I've been called out to a couple of ring recoveries where somebody knew they lost a ring. Those are the easiest ones to find. If you know about where you lost it, it's like 10 minutes tops. Let me get it for you. Or the best one, finding an earring. Yeah, even if it's a little tiny one, as long as you have the other one, you can use my metal detector and get like a sound print and say, only make a beep when you go over something that sounds exactly like that. And you can just walk, beep. There it is. It's so much fun to do that. It's like cheating. Judge Everett is my nomination for our best judge this year. He's really good. He is so fair and just straight, impartial, follow the rules, and lay down the law, control the courtroom. Anyway, enough metal detecting stuff. You're making me nerd out, and we're here for court. Amanda, that is tough to do. Fires have so much junk in them, metal junk. It's hard to find those, but that's awesome. If you're interested in metal detecting, hit me up. I'd love to give you advice on what machine to start with or how to start, things like that. But Tracy, basically, it's a little more complicated than that, but it's the easiest way to describe it. My detector makes 50 different noises, and how it makes those noises are in 100 different ways. And so it basically sounds like an out-of-tune flute orchestra when I'm metal detecting. It sounds like just garbled beeps. But once you learn what the garbled beeps are telling you, you can make it as quiet as you want and only beep when they're coins. So yeah, I I can say I only want to find this exact item and skip nails, skip quarters, skip rings, only find the earring.
It's just Investigator Newland, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, spoke too soon.
I will say that my right shoulder, I haven't
The
detected it's
parade
on.
to the bathroom
it's so much
continues.
better. Okay, there's a judge laugh.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
you intend to require a jury ensure that they follow the court's instructions?
That's right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parade to the bathroom continues, he says.
Jury entering courtroom.
Okay, now I get to eat my muffin.
Everyone can be seated. Members of the jury, I hope you had a restful weekend and good morning. Good morning. By a show of hands, I just want to confirm that everyone has in fact complied with the instruction not to seek out any information about this case, and also you've not spoken with anyone concerning this case. If this is true, please raise your hands. And for the record, all 14 jurors have raised their hands. At this time, we are going to continue with the state's case. Ms. Kappelman, you may call your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. The state calls Investigator Newland.
Investigator, please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this trial will be the truth?
I swear.
You may take your seat. You may inquire when you're ready.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
My name is Jason Newlin, Jasonnewlin.
How are you employed?
I'm an investigator with the State Attorney's Office here in Tallahassee.
What are your duties at the state attorney's office?
Primarily assist the prosecutors with preparation for trial.
Okay, so that can include quite a long laundry list of tasks.
It can.
In this case, have you had an opportunity to review state's demonstrative A?
Yes.
What does state's demonstrative A contain?
It's going to be the entire divorce filing of Dan Markel and Wendi Adelson.
Okay, and what were you asked to do in reference to state's demonstrative A?
Review it, find items of value for this case, but also review documentation that can corroborate this information was shared.
All right, so were you asked to look for the foundation to support the fact that each of the filings in that document were known to or seen by Donna Adelson?
Yes, I was.
And what type of evidence did you find in regards to the divorce filings to indicate the defendant has seen these things?
Emails. Emails primarily. There was a couple daily planner, documented daily planner agendas that we were able to use as well.
And when you say emails, where were those emails collected from?
A 2014 search warrant on multiple emails, but primarily Wendi Adelson's emails, and then a 2024 search warrant on Donna Harvey at Gmail.
Okay. And based on the research that you conducted for these divorce filings, did you find foundation to support the fact that she had seen or was aware of quite a few of those documents?
Yes, I did.
And based on that, did you create a new exhibit, State's Exhibit 60?
Yes.
Right. And how is State's Exhibit 60 organized?
So each filing that we could validate would have been provided to Ms. Adelson is going to have a letter associated with it. And for example, A1, A2 would be a document validating the information passed along, whether that be an email or a planner.
All right,
page.
so each filing in state 60 now has a letter, and then behind it the jury can find the foundation to support that filing.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to take demo A away from me, give you some space.
Got a
You
bit
have
of a
copy
soft
state
focus on this
60 in
witness.
front of
But
you?
I do.
Let's go to first page. And Judge, may I make use of a PowerPoint?
You may.
Did you assist with creating a PowerPoint to assist the jurors in understanding your testimony here today?
I did.
How is the PowerPoint set up?
So on the left is going to be the divorce filing pages and excerpts from specific pages, and on the right will be the documentation saying the information was passed along to the defendant.
Okay, so if we click, will we see this divorce filing? What was the first divorce filing?
The first divorce filing was a petition for dissolution of marriage.
Who filed that?
Wendi Adelson.
When was that filed?
It was filed September 10th, 2012.
All right, any evidence that Mrs. Donna Adelson was aware of this filing?
Yes, there was a preceding email and an email following. So an email sent on September 9th, 2012, indicating Ms. Adelson would be filing for a divorce, and an email on September 19th indicating Ms. Adelson had filed for divorce.
Excuse me, Judge, can you ask the witness to speak to the microphone, please?
You can just adjust the microphone, investigator.
All right, so she knew her daughter was getting divorced.
She did.
All right, let's go, if you would please, to tab B of Exhibit 60. What is the filing in tab B?
Joint stipulation for substitution of counsel.
Okay, and what is a substitution of counsel?
It's generally when an attorney that's assigned to a case is getting off of the case, and a new attorney will be assigned.
All right, and Wendi was switching lawyers?
Yes.
Who was she switching from, and who was she switching to?
She was switching from Shannon Novi, switching to Kristen Adamson.
And was Donna aware that Novi had represented Wendi prior to this substitution?
Yes, she was.
All right, and for that, I would direct you to 60B.2. Did she send an email 7 days before this lawyer change?
Yes.
All right,
Well,
that's the defendant sent an email indicating that Wendy's lawyer was Shannon Novi. Is that right?
correct. Currently, her attorney is Shannon Novi of the Novi Law Firm.
Okay, and then was there a second email directing you to 60.B3 sent on July 10th of 2013?
Yes,
Okay, that's after the changeover of lawyers, right?
that is correct.
And what does she say in that email?
This is going to be the July 10th B3. Gary Cohen told Wendi tonight that he thinks the offer should be made her attorney Kristen at mediation on the 18th of this month.
Okay, and what about in the paragraph above that? Does she talk about why Wendi left the Novi Law Firm?
She does.
Okay, so acknowledging that the new lawyer is Kristen.
Yes.
Do you know who Kristen is?
Kristen Adamson.
Okay. And 60B.4, did she actually draft an email, and by she I mean the defendant, draft an email including a portion in Wendy's voice for her to send to Kristen Adamson?
Yes.
And that email is dated what?
October 18th, 2012.
And what is the email entitled?
Review of post-relocation info for your attorney.
PowerPoint is a mess. We're not seeing the same things she's talking about.
One more click, please. One more click. All right, and in that pleading, she says I have been upset about this move since it happened in 2005, referring to having to live in Tallahassee, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's the I in that sentence is Wendi, right?
Correct.
Okay, next. There are, however, 16 Christian, Catholic, and Baptist schools in Tallahassee with over 3,600 students attending them. If I remain in Tallahassee, the children will not be attending a Hebrew day school, nor be brought up kosher or religious in any way. That's not a threat, just a reality. Is that contained in that email?
It is.
All right, next slide. All right, so the boys stay with me, the mom, during the week and spend every other weekend, Friday evening through school, Monday morning with their dad. Okay, so this is arguments for relocation that are being outlined by Donna for Wendi to send to her lawyer, correct?
Yes, that's
Next
correct.
slide, please. All right, so let's move on to tab C. What is the pleading addressed in tab C?
Wife's answer to husband's counter petition for dissolution of marriage.
Okay, and so now on what date?
That was filed on December 5th, 2012.
Okay, so we have Wendi filing another response, yes?
Yes.
And what is she asking for? Next slide, please. She's asking for, I'm sorry, bad question. Strike that. Was there any proof that the defendant saw this filing?
Yes.
The wife's answer. Okay.
Yes.
So we've got an email in here dated July 19th of 2013. It's marked as state 60.C2. What is that email?
The subject is please forward 5 items, and there are 5 attachments to this email. It was on July 17th, Donna Adelson replied to an email, and then Wendi replied back.
All right, so sometimes Wendi would just file a group of actual divorce filings and forward them to her mother.
Correct.
Okay, and in this case, she addresses the email, "Hi guys." Does that indicate she's sending it to both Harvey and Donna?
Yes.
Miss Chris, OG, 27 months. Thank you so much.
So that's where Donna is asking for the items and then Wendi responds and sends them, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Next slide. All right, let's go to tab D. What is tab D?
Amended petition for dissolution of marriage and request to be allowed to relocate with the minor children.
All right, what does this indicate, this petition? Does it indicate where she plans to go?
It does. This is Wendi Adelson attempting to move the children to another part of the state.
To Coral Springs, right?
That is correct.
To live with her parents.
Correct.
Okay. And States Exhibit 60D.2, can you tell us about that email?
This motion was forwarded to Donna Adelson with the terms, here it is, let's edit.
All right, so who sent it to Donna Adelson?
Wendi Adelson.
On what date did she send this to her mom?
December 10th, 2012.
Okay, so that's 3 months before the document ends up getting filed, right?
A month.
Okay. So before she files her motion for relocation, she being Wendi, Wendi sends it to the defendant for edits.
Yes.
And does the defendant reply with some edits?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and that's this email that starts, "Honey," on page 3, number 13, says that you and Danny have assets that are deemed non-marital assets, which are either titled in both or in each individual name, which will be kept separate, What non-marital assets are these? Does this refer to your 401k, his 401ks? If so, his 401ks, one for $75,000 and one for $25,000, if not set aside in a prenup, are deemed marital assets. So this is, am I correct? This is Donna responding to each, she kind of goes paragraph by paragraph and offers edits and questions for Wendi.
That's correct.
All right, and how do we know this is Donna and not Harvey?
Signed, love you, Mom.
All right, and then are Donna's questions and feedback forwarded by Wendi to Wendi's attorney?
Yes, they are.
And does Wendi cut and paste Mom's questions and then send them to the attorney as her own questions?
She does.
Okay, and then does she, upon getting a response from the lawyer, does Wendi send the lawyer's answer on to her mother?
She does.
All right, let's go to tab E, please. What is tab E?
Motion for leave to amend petition for dissolution of marriage to add a complaint for relocation.
We're going through everything we just talked about. Hold on. All right, so E, motion to amend petition for dissolution of marriage to add a complaint for relocation. All right, so this is Wendi seeking to add the relocation issue to her initial petition?
Correct.
Okay, and was there any discussion from the defendant regarding the arguments for relocation in the context of the divorce?
Yes, there was.
Okay, and is that 60.E2?
It is.
What's the date on that email?
It's going to be 5 days prior to the filing, so January 9th.
Okay. And that is for your meeting tomorrow with Kristen.
Correct.
And Kristen Adamson, Wendi's lawyer.
Yes.
Okay, and how is this one signed? Well, let me back up for just a moment. Some of the contents include, obviously, at some point, whenever Kristen thinks it's a good idea, since this is a major bargaining chip for you. What was the major bargaining chip?
Her employment.
That she had better employment opportunities
Correct.
in South Florida.
Yes.
All right, he needs to know that there is no way in hell you're going to stay at FSU and that he's the reason you're leaving. Is that what she said?
Yes.
And that's Donna's the author of that.
Correct.
Okay. Let's go to tab G, please. What is tab G?
The husband's answer to wife's amended petition for dissolution of marriage and request to be allowed to relocate with the minor children, and husband's objection to wife's request to relocate with minor children with prayer for relief.
So he didn't want her to move to South Florida with his kids.
He did not.
And what did he say was the sole reason that she really wanted to move to South Florida with the kids?
So she can be closer to her parents.
Right. And did he say that she was misusing access to the children as pawns?
Yes.
Meaning Wendi was doing that.
Correct.
Okay. And did he make some other allegations against Wendi in this particular filing? For example, the wife alleges that the husband wants to move from FSU, but that is false. So he's saying that Wendi is misstating his intentions in the pleadings. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Does he also say something about, here's the pawns, we can skip that.
Right.
The wife has on various occasions failed to allow the children to Skype with the husband. So as part of his allegation here that the communication is lacking.
Yes.
And specifically that Wendi is failing to comport with the agreement that they've made about Skyping with the children.
Yes.
I don't know who's clicking
Unfortunately,
through.
the broken promises, communication withdrawal, and deceitful behavior indicate that the wife really cannot be trusted to consider the children's best interest. Did Dan Markel put this in his filing?
He did.
Because there are numerous false statements in the petition to relocate, and because the wife's behavior reveals deception, lack of integrity, and other instances of bad faith, this court should look at the wife as having unclean hands. Did he put that?
He did.
And this was sent to Donna Adelson?
Correct.
The wife who unilaterally helped herself to $400,000 of assets she barely contributed to. And then it goes on, this court should award decision-making authority over education, medical, and religious matters solely to the husband. He didn't even want to consult Wendi on those matters?
He did not.
And he was asking the court to grant him sole decision-making over those 3 areas of his kids' lives, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so do we have the defendant's response here? And I'm referencing 60G.2.
Yes, we have an email from Donna Adelson to Wendi Adelson.
And she replies the same day indicating she read everything that Markel wrote, right?
She did.
And how do we know it's her and not Harvey reading these documents? Or
Signed,
this
I love
particular
you.
one?
Signed, I love you, Mom.
And does she send any emails at this point indicating that she's working on Wendi's response to this filing that Markel, that we just went through in detail?
Yes, she did.
Tell us about that.
On February 27th of 2013, she sent an email to a friend, Ronnie. Literally says, I'm sitting here at the kitchen table in Wendi's house working on her response to Danny's response to her relocation petition.
All right, let's skip to tab M, please. What is tab M?
Husband's memorandum of law in support of his answer to wife's amended petition for dissolution of marriage and objection to request to be allowed to relocate with the minor children, and husband's motion to dismiss wife's petition to relocate.
All right, so we have a second filing, the gist of which is an objection of Dan Markel to these kids being relocated.
Correct. That's correct.
All right, let's go to M2. Was this filing that Dan Markel did forwarded from Wendi to her mother?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And it was forwarded on what date?
May 2nd, 2013.
So the same day it was filed by Dan Markel, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and the next day, does the defendant offer a response to the email?
She does.
And what is that response entitled?
Info regarding his memorandum of law. Email.
Okay. And how does she refer to his memorandum of law? It was 23 pages
It's 23-page
long, right?
rant. Obviously, his 23-page rant was insufficient, so he's trying to push the court to deny hearing your petition.
Okay, what does she say about the efforts that Mr. Markel is putting into this divorce?
Gibbers has made his divorce a full-time job to attempt to get what he's always gotten, his way.
And what does she say is the most important part of Wendi's divorce?
The most important part of your divorce is relocation. I sincerely hope your attorney understands that this is your non-negotiable. Lots of things are negotiable. That's one thing that you cannot let her think, okay, well, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. She needs to hear from you how serious you are about this and how it will benefit the children and close-knit family support system, as well as your significantly better paying job with hours much more flexible than your current job.
Okay, and does she say anything to disparage Dan Markel in this email?
She says, Danny thinks he's a very important person, and as always, he and his needs come first.
Does she call him a narcissist?
She does.
Okay, I might have gotten ahead of you, but if you'll read what's up there, please.
Only an idiot like him would write that. He should be the only one consulted for making decisions regarding the health, education, and religion of his children.
Okay, keep going.
Mr. Markel has become a religious zealot over the last few years since the birth of our first son. Skip forward. This is also to show the congregation what an attentive father he is.
And attentive is in quotes, right?
Yes, it is.
She doesn't think he's an attentive father, does she?
No.
Okay, what does she say about the schooling opportunities for the boys in South Florida?
He's indoctrinating them, not teaching them. If he truly cared about religious school for them, then clearly one of the 37 Hebrew day schools in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County would be a better choice for our boys.
All right, next, please. Okay. Does she say the word bribe? Donna Adelson.
Yes.
Okay, what does she say about a bribe in this email?
Another bribe to get him to allow relocation should be the offer of plane tickets, since he does have family that would allow him to use their homes to stay in.
Okay, next, please. What does she say about the legal fees?
And isn't he also supposed to pay some of your regular legal fees? This bastard has not paid 1 cent toward your bridge gap alimony.
Whoa.
Loving, caring father that he is.
Yes.
She doesn't think he's loving.
That was in italics.
Your Honor.
What is the objection?
Counsel is testifying.
I'll withdraw.
Stay, please.
Tab O, please. Next slide. Okay. Okay, so here we've done something with the exhibit to avoid duplication. Can you explain that to the jury, please?
Okay, so several of the emails that were preceding this, they all correspond back to this. The filings, everything was kind of an ongoing process. So there were multiple emails that covered multiple filings throughout the court document. So some of these files will say refer back to the emails in C or refer back to the emails in B. And this is one of those that says refer back to the emails in C. And this was a motion, father's motion for enforcement of parental agreement and for electronic access to minor children pursuant to Florida statute.
All right, so if they get to a filing in their Exhibit 60 and they can't find the supporting documentation, they should look on the first page and there might be a note referring them to one of the other tabs.
Correct.
Okay. And in this case, they're going to refer back. If they want to see the supporting documentation for O, they'll have to go to C.2. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, and how does C.2 provide a foundation for O?
It is one of the petitions, it is one of the attachments that was forwarded in that email.
All right, and that's the C2. It's not up there right now, but that we've seen where there was a batch of documents forwarded from Wendi Adelson to Donna Adelson.
Correct.
Okay. Tab P, please. Okay, so this one is what?
It's a terrible layout.
Notice of taking a deposition of Donna Sue Adelson.
All right, so the defendant's deposition was being sought in Wendy's divorce.
Correct.
And was Donna aware of that?
Yes.
How do we know that?
Emails.
Okay.
And the communication was back and forth between the two.
All right, did she author an email specifically talking about the service of the notice for the deposition? I'm referring to 60P.2.
Yes. It was an email on May 21st.
All right, and what does she say about the service, the notice of service for the depot?
It says, wow, he is such a royal jackass. How smart are you to get rid of this piece of S? R, as in like a pirate.
Okay.
She actually said piece of S after saying royal. whatever.
Does she indicate she's still working on some of the questions for Wendy's divorce?
Yes, I've been working on some statements, etc., for the relocation, so I'll send them soon. Love, Mom. I love you, Mom.
Okay, tab T, please. What is this?
This is the wife's memorandum of facts and law in support of her petition to relocate to Coral Springs, Florida with the minor children.
Okay, and how do we know that the defendant was aware of this particular filing?
This one we would refer back to Q2.
Okay.
And in Q2, one is indicating thanks so much, Mom. But in Q2, there's going to be an email on June 11th, 2013. Hi, honey. So here's the info I had for travel since Ben was born. And there is a list from 2009 travels, 2010 travels, 2011 travels, 2012 travels that Donna Adelson would have sent to Wendi Adelson, reference Dan Markel's travel.
So what's the purpose of documenting Dan Markel's travel?
Essentially to say he was absent most of the time.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the investigator offering his opinion.
Overruled. The investigator may answer these questions based on his review of these documents and investigation in this matter. You may continue.
Specifically outlined in detail by Donna Adelson and present in Wendy's filings that Dan traveled too much to be a present father.
Correct.
And in support of that, does Donna here send Wendi a detailed accounting for every trip that Dan Markel has taken since the birth of their first child?
It does.
It's
And
crazy.
we don't know how it is that she came to possess this information, or do we?
She kept track of a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit psycho. Maybe it was
Can
for
we go
tax
to tab
purposes.
W, please? What is tab W?
Husband's reply to wife's memorandum of law in support of her petition to relocate to Coral Springs, Florida with the minor children.
And what does Dan say about the wife's pleadings?
The wife's pleadings are vague, filled with rank and obvious falsehoods, and the legal analysis is fundamentally inept.
Does he mention her parents as well related to this line of argument?
For the preceding reasons, the petition should be dismissed with prejudice and costs forwarded to the husband. Indeed, if the costs are not awarded, then wife and her affluent parents, who are bankrolling wife's litigation so that they can enjoy closer access to the grandchildren, will persist in vexatious and groundless litigation and thereby prevent the parents from reaching a space where they can cooperate, collaborate, and communicate effectively and warmly in the project of raising their wonderful children.
You nailed it. Groundless litigation. Vexatious and groundless.
Okay, I think we can breeze through W3 and 4, please. Go on to tab Y. Tab Y, what is this?
Order on wife's petition to relocate with the minor children.
What was the order?
It was denied.
When was it denied?
It was filed June 13th, or I'm sorry, June 21 of 2013. It was actually denied on June 20th, though.
All right, so signed by the judge on June 20th, filed with the clerk the next day?
Correct.
Okay, and it denies relocation.
Yes.
With prejudice or without prejudice?
Don't see prejudice referenced in this motion
Okay.
for order.
Does the defendant acknowledge that this relocation order has come down?
She does in an email to a friend.
When is the email sent?
June 24th, 2013.
So just 3 days after the filing of the order?
Correct.
Okay, what does she say to the friend about losing relocation?
Unfortunately, after paying a lawyer $600 an hour for 10 months of case preparation, the judge listened to Wendi testify for 1 hour. Nothing. Well, I'll do this. The judge took a break and asked one question. I'm not hearing about any physical abuse by the father. Has he been pulling out their toenails? When Wendi said no, the judge said, well, I've made up my mind. No physical abuse, no relocation. Outrageous. So at the moment, she will not be allowed to relocate.
At the moment.
At the moment.
All right. How does she conclude that email?
Anyway, if I sound angry, it's because I am. We're all very upset and cannot believe the outcome. Sorry I didn't mean to respond this way, but I'm beyond angry.
Okay. Tab Z.
Big mad.
This is a order setting pretrial conference and non-jury trial.
All right, so the divorce is set for a final hearing, a trial.
Yes.
And when is the trial to take place?
Tuesday, July 9th, 2013 at 10 a.m.
I think that's the pretrial hearing.
Oh, that's a pretrial. Okay. The non-jury is scheduled for Wednesday, July 31st and Thursday, August 1st, 2013.
Okay, and does Donna send an email to her daughter Wendi regarding how we're going to take this news that relocation has been denied by the courts?
Yes, she does.
And does it say it's behind us, it's over, nothing else to fight about?
No, this says never, never, never give up. It's time for action.
Hold on just a moment. If you look at the bar on the bottom of that slide, you're going to get a trigger to hit play.
You're going to get a trigger to hit play?
Okay. It's time for action. It's time to take control of your life and not let Jibbers think he's just won anything by having you remain in Tallahassee, 8 hours away from the only family you have, and lose out on what will be a job that will afford you and your children advantages that they will never otherwise be able to enjoy. Let's show this F what will make him absolutely miserable. Fast forward, however, the rest of your life, and consequently Dad's, mine, and yes, even Charlie's, will be affected by how well you can perform or act before July 31st. You can be a good actress when you want to. I've seen you in action. You need to put on the performance of your life. Jibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. You have a very strong family behind you. Dad and I have done everything we can to try to help you for the last 10 months. Now it's time to help yourself. Fast forward. If you can put these actions before everything else this next month, and you know that you've only got the kids a limited number of days to do this, we believe that Jibbers will be saying, stop this, and you'll be telling him, you wanted me in Tallahassee? My children are going to fit in this Bible Belt. They're going to church every time I have them. I'm having them privately tutored at home to get them caught up for Sunday school classes. Tell him that you've got a new outlook on life and a new hope, and you'd like to go to heaven. Perhaps he would like to join you and the boys at church. Plan of action. 1, take photos of the boys, dressed nicely, standing at the front door or by the sign of a Tallahassee church. Then change your Facebook status photo to this one so everyone will see this. Perhaps a line under the photo with "New Beginnings in Tallahassee" might be nice. And then 2, make arrangements to get the boys caught up with a private tutor, a teenage Catholic church member, who will come to the house to teach the young men about Jesus. If you don't have time to arrange for this to happen, I'll happily do it for you. 3, let Jibbers know that your children will be baptized in the Catholic Church. Let him know that the Catholic Church is a big part of your life now with the boys, and you'd like him to be part of it. As long as he wants you to remain in Tallahassee, the boys will be involved with you in church-related activities and ceremonies. Let him get used to it. I've already checked this out, and a baptism can be arranged within 2 weeks. 4, I'm looking into summer camp programs for the boys. We will pay for it. 5, register them for toddler classes at church. I've looked into this, and even if they don't go, we can show Jibbers that they are enrolled for the fall semester. And you cannot tell anyone this is an act. Take control from him, get to him psychologically. He's going to want you to stop this.
Whoa.
We plan to make a financial offer to him to allow this relocation. You need to work this plan, and we'll help you through it. We'll help you through it so that it may affect how much we will offer him. Maybe he'd be willing to let you relocate if he knew his children would attend a private Hebrew academy like Donna, Klein, and Boca, or perhaps he'd like them to invite him to a Christmas party at their other Sunday school, in quotes. And then she says, I know you would never want to think that you didn't do absolutely everything you could to try to come down to your family. We don't want Danny to continue his religious influence over these children any more than what he's already done. If he keeps this up, they won't want to eat in your non-kosher home. As they get older and more involved under Gibber's religious influence, they will be able to request which parent they want to live with. Don't allow Gibbers to have this power and control over them. Then in reality, he's going to have the same control over you. Dad and I is referred for the person. It's time for you to show us that you can put on the performance of your life for the next few weeks. We send this letter with our love and only the best intentions, Mom and Dad.
And you mentioned this as we were going through there, but there's a reference to Dad and I in the text, right?
Correct.
The best
Can
intentions.
we go to tab EE, please?
The ending makes it okay.
What is this filing?
Motion to enforce marital settlement agreement and to show cause why the former husband should not be held in contempt of court.
There's Harvey right there.
And what does Wendi Adelson allege in this motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement?
Require the former husband to immediately transfer to the former wife the remaining amount due to her.
So she's saying he hasn't paid up.
Correct.
Okay, and is there an email prior to this filing indicating that Donna Adelson was aware of this upcoming deadline, or I guess the deadline had already passed at this time, but the deadline, the fact that he had not made payment, and the possibility of Wendi taking him back to court?
Yes, the email was from October 15th. The filing was October 31st.
Selena, thanks for 5 gifted memberships. Hope
Go
you're
to
doing
GG,
okay.
Please. Okay, what was filed in GG?
Former husband's request to produce to former wife.
Okay. And did the defendant discuss this request to produce in an email?
She did.
Okay. And did she
these emails are so bad
formulate
for
in
Donna.
this email a plan of attack or suggest a plan of attack to deal with Danny's request to produce?
She did.
What does she say in there?
In the first paragraph, it's, let's aggravate him the way he's trying to aggravate you, and make him do the research and show statements from every month, from the date of your marriage to the date of the filing of the divorce. You need to see whatever he deposited into those accounts, where the money came from. It's very possible some of it came from your joint Schwab account, and then he's up Schitt's Creek.
Does she specifically reference the deposition?
It just seems ridiculous for him to be able to depot you, but for you and Kristen to not give him the same crap he's pulling on you. It's time to give it to him.
Also,
what can your attorney do to be proactive to give him some grief?
and can you meet with her and work out a plan of attack? Did she say that too?
She does.
And what else?
Well, it's signed, love you, Mom, but something has to be done with this asshole. Love you, Mom and Dad. Love Mom and Dad.
All right, and let's go to tab HH, please.
Oh my goodness.
What is this
Love
filing?
you. Mom and Dad.
This is an amended notice of hearing.
Okay, and on what date was this filed?
February 11th, 2014.
Katrina, thanks for this. I
How
didn't know
close
that.
are we getting to the murder of Dan Markel at this point?
We're almost 5 months out.
Oh,
The
that she's been
amended
leading
notice of
so
hearing,
much.
does Mr. Markel offer to settle the divorce?
He does.
Okay, and what is he saying about the settlement?
One of the suggestions is neither party will seek to relocate in the future with the children without the consent of the other party. If the offer above is not accepted by the deadline, minute fast forward, Mr. Markel will file his motions and memoranda and supporting documents that detail how Ms. Adelson failed to disclose substantial assets in violation of the Florida rules and the master settlement agreement. How Ms. Adelson fraudulently induced the settlement, how she made numerous instances of demonstrably false testimony before the court and under oath in deposition, how she ignored court orders, discovery requests, and made false responses to the latter.
And Wendi Adelson was a lawyer, member of the Florida Bar at the time, right?
She was.
May still be, I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
If this offer is not accepted by the deadline, Mr. Markel will file his motion and memoranda of law and supporting documents, and these will allege and with other evidence demonstrate that Ms. Adelson engaged in misconduct, including but not limited to filing a frivolous petition to relocate that had already been deemed impossible to win by another board-certified lawyer, standing by silently while her client divulged privileged attorney-client information, advising Ms. Adelson to interfere with Mr. Markel's parental rights.
And I think there's one more, yeah.
And becoming a willing instrumentality of or participant in Ms. Adelson's financial misconduct related to the disclosures and discovery process related therein.
So he's going after Wendi and he's going after her lawyer as well, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And does Wendi Adelson forward this email to the defendant?
She does.
All right, let's go to tab JJ, please.
I don't object to this being shown. The exhibit hasn't been entered into evidence. I know that most of this will be. However, I'm objecting to this being shown to the jury and
now you're
specifically
objecting?
The testimony concerning this based on the proffer that we had earlier.
You may lay the foundation as to JJ and Ms. Kappelman, but until it is in fact entered, there is to be no publication for the jury.
It's just this one part he objects to. Let's see if they can get, I think this is the one that
the document in JJ?
isn't signed.
The former husband's counter motion for enforcement of MSA on parenting issues and motion for contempt and sanctions.
Right. And is this the motion that includes the allegations, grandma says you're stupid?
Please lay the foundation for giving the contents of the document. Ms. Kappelman, objection is sustained.
Are you familiar with the contents of the motion?
I am.
Okay, and are the contents of that motion present in an email that was dated before the filing of the motion on 12/17/13? I'm referring to JJ.2.
Yes, the email is a forwarded email. The original email is 12/16 and it was forwarded on 12/17.
Okay, so who sent the email on 12/16?
Dan Markel sent the email to Wendi Adelson and their parenting coordinator.
All right, and then you say it was forwarded. Who
It was
was it forwarded to?
To donnaharvey@gmail.com.
Okay, and that was on 12/17/13?
That's correct.
And did someone respond to the email?
They did.
And what did the person say?
Wow, with an exclamation point.
Okay, and the contents of JJ, that motion that was ultimately filed, were they also, you mentioned they were sent to the parenting coordinator. Did the parenting coordinator give a response to Dan Markel's allegations? And I'm referring to JJ.3.
Yes, this is another one of those convoluted emails, but yes.
Okay, so the parenting coordinator you mentioned that the original email was sent.
So
to-
12/16, Dan Markel sent the email. 12/17, it was forwarded to Donna Adelson. 12/18, the parenting coordinator replied.
All right, and the parenting coordinator's reply, was that then forwarded to the defendant as well?
Yes.
And so on that, is part of that thread a second version of this content that we're talking about that Dan Markel is alleging?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it was sent to the Donna Harvey email twice.
Correct.
And the second time it was sent, the one that includes the parenting coordinator's response, how is that email addressed?
Dear Mom and Dad, here's the Skype phone plan for the holidays. Please help me do this. It means less stress for me if you just follow it. Love me.
Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move into evidence state 60.
Any objection, state 60?
We would object to JJ coming in with the attachments.
State 60 is admitted except for JJ. Any remaining portions of the foundation as to JJ may be laid through additional witnesses.
She didn't get JJ yet.
All right, the hearing on this motion that Dan Markel filed, was it ever conducted? This JJ motion?
I believe it was.
The grandma motion was heard?
I'm trying to figure out the dates here.
She's not impressed. In the defense of the prosecution here, they had thought these would just come in, and it was the last-minute objection last week by the defense to these that's forcing them to do all this groundwork, which they were not prepared to do.
The hearings continue to get reset.
Okay, and what prevented the hearing from occurring?
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of personal knowledge and lack of foundation.
Well, the rule, if the witness through his investigation is aware, he may answer the question as to his knowledge on that ground.
Eventually, Mr. Markel was murdered.
Before the hearing took place?
Yes.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Take your time.
They want to get JJ in. Everything else is in except for that one, but that's the one that's not signed. The judge is saying you've got to lay the foundation. So far, it's not in. This might be asking the judge, what more do you want? what more do you want? We want this in. What more do you want from us? JJ is the grandma motion one. I believe so. Is it just the wow? It's just the wow, the unsigned wow? Happy Bath Bar says, can anyone tell me how to celebrate your new courthouse color in chat? I'm turning pink soon. Yes, in the chat window, especially if you're on a computer. This was the easiest. Down at the bottom, I believe I think it's like a dollar sign in a circle. It's the same place you'd click if you were given a super chat. If you click on that, I think you have options for membership milestones. A membership milestone is how you'd celebrate your courthouse color. We're about to get flooded with a few of them as people check their own and find they in fact have one available, ready to send. All you need to do is think of something witty or fun or supportive or creepy. I know you do you. Say what you want. That's Dan's mom right there. Donna G, member for 6 months, says 6 months, but been here and gray since Brooks. That makes you an OG. Donna G, welcome. Bree, something witty, fun, and supportive. Thank you. Followed instructions. Allison, OG, member 23 months. One more till your pink courthouse. Annie, member 6 months. Happy to be here. Thank you, Annie, for your support. So JJ doesn't come in, but they got the mileage they wanted, I think. Cross-examination.
Okay, so I want you to turn to B, and I think it's
some dark sunglasses.
4. B4. That does that email indicate that it's who the sender is?
It says Donna Harvey Adelson.
Not Donna?
No.
Okay, and then it's, is there any, love mom or anything like that at the end of that email?
There's not.
So you don't know who sent that, do you?
Let me go through it again.
It's not there.
No.
Tumwater Troy, another OG member of the jury. 23 months. Wouldn't be the same without you here. Thank you very much, Troy.
I want you to turn to JJ2.
Jeff, thank you very much. Love it.
So that one-word response is from the shared email address of Donna Harvey, correct?
That's correct.
Isn't it true that emails from Donna Adelson are much lengthier than a one-word response?
They generally are.
I want you to turn to Y2.
So she replied with a text via email? Is that what you're saying?
When Ms. Kappelman was questioning you about that, you testified that the email says, so at the moment she will not be allowed to relocate. You didn't finish the rest of what that email, the rest of that sentence. Isn't it true? It says, unless at some point in the future, Danny chooses to move. If he chooses to move, then Wendi can relocate.
Yes.
Melissa and Chris, thank you very much. Members of the jury as well. 11 months.
Now the
and longer.
June.
OG.
Let's see.
Ricky C, another OG, 25 months. Thank you very much for all what you do and don't do.
Now, after the relocation was denied, my client sent that lengthy email, I believe it's at Z2.
Yes.
Isn't it true that although my client made these suggestions, that Wendi Adelson later responded and said, I'm not doing this?
I do recall an email from Wendi saying, Mom, I'm not doing this.
Just a moment, Your Honor.
How does that make it better? That Mom was more extreme than Wendi?
Nothing further for this witness, Your Honor.
Redirect examination.
Did relocation happen for Wendi and the boys?
After the murder.
Where did they move after the murder?
couple blocks away from Donna and Harvey Adelson. Well, they moved in with Donna and Harvey Adelson for about a year, and then permanently to a location a couple blocks away.
No further questions.
You may step down, Investigator Newman.
All
Will
right.
you be recalled again by the state or the defense?
Potentially,
Yes.
Judge.
You remain under subpoena.
Do we have Wendi next? Is this
Members
the
of the jury,
foundation?
does anyone need to take a restroom break before we proceed forward? Please raise your hands if you do. Very well. Please call your next witness.
State calls Wendi Adelson.
Boom! Here she is, Wendi. Wendi is up. This is going to get interesting. We were waiting for this on Friday. Did not happen. Just ran out of time. Things took a little longer than I think they were planning. Wendi was in the courthouse, waiting to be called in. Now we see how this goes down. We'll hear a little bit about her immunity agreement. Does she tell all and blame mom?
You may.
Judge asked for a sidebar. There will be a proffer involved here, I believe, after the initial testimony and on cross. This is going to be very, very interesting. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Is it Leon County Sheriff's Office?
We need to take a brief break. The bailiff will take you to the jury room. We anticipate getting
That's her
started
lawyer.
very quickly within the next few minutes.
She didn't come in. The lawyer did.
Please rise when the jury enters and exits.
And there's a little bit of look of concern on the other prosecutor's face. A little bit of lip biting going on. I think he needs to just be told what the deal is. He wasn't here when the judge made this announcement about how this was going to go down at the proffer and everything.
Everyone can be seated.
Talk to Wendy's lawyer here.
Laura, I had not forgotten about you, sir. You may come up to make your statement.
On behalf of Wendi, her lawyer speaks from the lectern.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
John Lauro on behalf of Wendi Adelson. Your Honor, we previously filed a motion to make a brief statement before Ms. Adelson testifies. We'd like to make clear for the record that she is appearing pursuant to a state subpoena that by law furnishes her with use and derivative use immunity. But for this subpoena, she would assert her Fifth Amendment rights with respect to every question that the state would ask relevant to this matter. We also believe that the use and derivative use immunity covers cross-examination to the extent that it involves responsive and relevant questions as well.
The court has previously ruled concerning this matter that the immunity that is being conferred by the state's subpoena does extend to cross-examination and that she is appearing to answer questions under this immunity. One matter that had come up, Mr. Lauro, after the conclusion of the hearing that we previously had, in making sure that there is a complete record as to your client's invocation of her right to not incriminate herself. She was not present during the hearing, therefore the defense could not take a proffer. Once the examination has occurred pursuant to the state subpoena, the defense is wanting to take a proffer. As to that, any questions in which she believes she needs to properly invoke, you may advise her to do so, and I will make a ruling from there whether there is, in fact, any proper basis that is both relevant and would not go to the right of self-incrimination. Ultimately, you may advise your client concerning these matters as it relates to the defendant's proffer out of the presence of the jury. Do you need to be heard in any way concerning this?
No, Your Honor. We'll just need a brief moment to consult, obviously, after we hear the proffer questions.
That's fine.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
Does either party need to be heard further before the examination begins pursuant to the state's subpoena?
Wow.
Yes, sir.
There you are. You may take your seat, Mr. Lauro. You can bring back in the jurors when they're ready.
the lawyer, lawyer basically says, look, before we do this, just know we would not be here unless we were subpoenaed. We have to be here. If she had her way, she would plead the fifth. She's got this deal, use and derivative use immunity, that we believe covers everything. We just want to make sure, Judge, we both are on the same page. That anything she says here during this testimony, asked by the state or by the defense, she is covered, right? And the judge is like, yes, she's covered.
Good morning. If you can just take your seat for right now, I will swear you in when the jurors re-enter the room.
Takes the stand, watching Donna, see if she's mouthing anything, or it helps if we focus a little bit, but the other way, there we go. She's a proud mom.
I believe, even though the jurors indicated they did not have to go to the bathroom at this point, if we are once again dealing with the needs of 14 people, they might be in the bathroom. So
she's doing her best to telepathically communicate to her daughter, I believe. Wow. Her daughter looking away from mom. Is this a sign? Oh, now glances back over and down. Not making eye contact. Is she going to roll over on her?
I believe that we have a few jurors that do need to use the restroom. If anyone needs to stretch their legs or use the bathroom themselves, please take your opportunity now. Once we start with the testimony, again, the door will remain closed if you exit.
We're going to add one more to the counter.
Go ahead. Oh, before you leave the room, Ms. Fulford, once again, Mrs. Adelson, I'm going to reiterate the instruction that I gave to you last Friday concerning any reactions that you may have to either the testimony or the evidence in the case. I understand this may be a distressing thing for your child to be offering testimony in your trial. However, you are to control your expressions and your emotions. Do you understand those? Everyone can take their break.
Unholy Saint, 88, this channel rocks. 27 months of support. Thank you very much, Unholy Saint. That is awesome. There's not a lot of eye contact between Wendi and Donna, just occasional glances and then look away. Wendi seems to be breaking it. Donna almost remaining fixated on Wendi. As we wait for the jury to, after saying they didn't need to use the bathroom, appeared to need to once they found they were close enough to make it possible. So Wendi on the stand, with this deal, she has to answer everything. She has to answer these questions. She can't say, I plead the fifth. The state can ask her all sorts of stuff, and they can't use this against her. So basically, if Wendi were to be charged, she could then literally plead not guilty to things that she might admit to on the stand today, potentially. And the state could not use this testimony or derivative testimony against her. So this is going to be quite spicy. I think it's going to be good. Her lawyer is present and will not be interfering during the state's testimony, I believe, or the cross-examination. Both of those are covered under this use immunity. But the proffer afterwards, the defense is going to attempt to ask some questions that they think that they've crafted to try to help Donna, right? Because that's the only reason they're asking questions. They want to ask questions of Wendi that will help Donna. And if they're able to do it properly, the judge might rule and say, you're right. The question you're asking, defense, doesn't mean that isn't of such a nature that Wendi can invoke her Fifth Amendment right to self-incrimination, and then she would have to answer those questions. But the lawyer will be part of that, and they're going to decide whether or not they would object to some of those questions, and the judge is going to rule on them. And then potentially those questions could be asked of Wendi in front of the jury. So that's going to be probably the spiciest part of this whole exchange. It just depends. It's possible that Wendi goes tell all and just lets loose here. And down goes Donna. I'm on the edge of my seat. It's exciting. It's a very creative and smart use of immunity deal. The looks, the facial expressions, it's just weird. It does seem weird. It's almost like an imploring look from mom to the daughter. Now Wendi needs to follow her advice in the letter. Put on the best acting you've ever done. That was Donna's advice to Wendi, right? Wendi is giving a different vibe. I don't think they're on the same page on this. Wendi is a lawyer herself. She's not just some random witness who's never been in court before. This is a setting she is very familiar with, although probably not from this vantage point, aside from maybe, a divorce trial. She'll protect her mom. Her answers will be crafted replies that will not answer the questions. Well, then that all depends on how hard the state pushes to get that answer and how much the judge supports the state in seeking a direct answer. If she gets hostile, and it's clear that they're hostile, the judge might allow the state to lead in this witness and force her to really answer yes or no questions. Kathy's probably giddy right now. Gossip, rumor, and innuendo. Will there be a lot of I don't recall answers? Those are the ones that are probably the safest. Because how do you prove somebody forgot something or didn't forget something? Pin message incoming. Thank you very much. I'll do that. We are still going to have Charlie, I believe, called on the stand as well. We'll see if he pleads the fifth through his lawyer as well. Amber, focus on your job. We want you to earn lots of money so you can do all the fun things you want to do. What are we counting? We're counting times the judge lays down the law or makes us laugh. And we're up to 13 so far. Another pin. Let's see. I always assume that the latest pinned message about the witness is the most accurate, so I always change it every time they post it. So if the mods post the same one over and over, I keep reposting the new pin, assuming there was a spelling correction or something. Wiki says Dad still might face charges. It's possible that other people could be charged in this whole scenario, including Wendi. Mika 801 says, as a mom and a daughter, it's still sad. It is. It's sad that this whole thing went down. I mean, it's sad that some kids lost their father. There's a lot of sadness in this trial, but unfortunately, some sad things have to happen when people make bad choices. I think Charlie is already in Florida. He's already been flown there. Is it more law or laughs currently? I think we're about 6s right now.
Session.
Here we go.
You can be seated. Are they good? Yep, we're gonna. Oh, sorry to pop you down. They're coming back in.
Lawyer turns to Donna and says, stand up. Put on your headphones. Those headphones are not comfortable. This is Wendi. This is Donna's daughter.
All right, jury entering the courtroom.
You can be seated. Please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give today in this trial will be the truth? You may be seated. Please adjust the microphone as you need to so you can be clearly heard. Ms. Kappelman, you may examine.
Please state your name and spell your name.
Wendi Adelson, Wendiadelson.
Ms. Adelson, where are you from?
I'm from Coral Springs, Florida.
And you live in another state now currently, right?
I do, yes ma'am.
All right. How are you employed?
I'm an immigration attorney.
How long have you been an attorney?
Since 2006.
And you're here pursuant to a state subpoena, is that correct?
Yes.
And that subpoena confers a type of immunity on you. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay. Which means that nothing you say here in court pursuant to that subpoena can be used against you at a later time. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean you could never be prosecuted. It just means that what you say in court could not be used in any future prosecution. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I want to ask you about your ex-husband, Daniel Markel. Is that a fair and accurate photo of Mr. Markel?
Yes.
When did you meet him?
We met originally online. It must have been the fall of my first year of law school, so 2003.
Okay. And when did you marry Mr. Markel?
We married in February of 2006.
Were you living in Tallahassee at some point as a married couple?
Yes.
When did you move to Tallahassee?
We moved to Tallahassee my final year of law school, so that would have been in the summer of 2005. And we were here from 2005 till 2006. We spent a year at the University of Miami from 2006 to 2007, and then came back to Tallahassee from 2007 until 2014.
All right, and during the time that you were living here in Tallahassee, did you live over on Trescott Drive?
For some of the time that we lived here, yes.
And when your first child was born, were you residing at the Trescott Drive residence at that point?
Yes.
Okay. I think I have a photo of that here. Is that the Trescott Drive residence?
Yes.
Okay. And how many children did you have with Mr. Markel?
We have 2 children.
What were their ages at the time of their father's death?
It was 10 days before my older son's 5th birthday, so he was 4 turning 5, and our younger son was 3.5. The boys are 14 months apart.
And did there come a time when you and Mr. Markel separated?
Yes.
When was the separation?
It was in the fall of 2012.
Whose decision was it to separate?
It was mine.
How did your ex take that news?
Well, we talked about it many times before it actually happened, but when the separation became official, he was very upset.
And even though there were problems and issues and discussions, it was a surprise to him when it actually happened, right?
It was.
Okay. And was part of the reason for the separation your differing views on how to raise the kids pursuant to the Jewish faith?
I'd say it was a very small part, but it was a part.
Did you consider your ex to be a religious zealot?
No, I didn't think he was a religious zealot, but I did think he was using religion as a way of controlling me.
Okay, did you think he was more devout in his faith than you were?
I don't know that, I feel like devoutness has to do with maybe a relationship with God, and I don't know that his was more strong than mine, but he was more observant of kosher rules than I was.
Okay, and can you explain for the jury what those imply for those
Sure.
of us that don't know?
So keeping kosher has to do with separating milk from meat, something like you can't eat a cheeseburger. And it has to do with the ritual way that animals are killed. So certain meats would be considered kosher or non-kosher. And then things like shellfish are not allowed, or pork would not be allowed. And so his beliefs changed over time. We used to have bacon, and then bacon became a no later on.
All right, and those rules were something that he was wanting to impose on the children, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you were less interested in those kosher rules?
It was less important to me.
All right. Were both you and Mr. Markel raised within the Jewish faith?
We were, yes.
When you separated from Mr. Markel, did you move out of the marital home while he was on a business trip?
I did, yes.
Where did you go when you left the marital home?
I went to another property that I had rented for the boys and me.
Was that at 3303 Aqua Ridge Way?
Yes.
Was that located in Leon County?
Yes.
Okay. What was the custody arrangement, broad terms are fine, for this time frame during the separation?
I think we were just trying to figure out how to make it work. We didn't have any formal custody arrangement at that time. I remember his parents came to town that weekend, and I made sure that he had the boys that weekend. We were just trying to figure out how to make it work until we had something formal.
Was the arrangement roughly 50-50 or something else?
It would have been roughly 50-50.
Okay, and were you mixing it up during the week, or was it a week on, week off situation?
It wasn't week on, week off. We didn't settle into that until the first summer, or maybe the second summer. I don't remember. That was more of a summer arrangement. But it was 50-50 and definitely a mix during the week.
Okay. I'm gonna publish what's been introduced into evidence as State's Exhibit 60. Your petition.
Just regular peppered jerk.
Was your mom, Donna Adelson, involved at all in drafting your divorce documents?
No.
Did she ever make any edits to any of the filings that you made pursuant to your divorce?
I think she made suggestions, but I had an attorney, a very good attorney, helping me through the process, so she wasn't editing legal documents.
Did you ever forward any of your mom's suggestions to your lawyer?
I probably did.
And when you did that, would you attribute them to your mom, or would you just forward them along without noting whether they were your questions or your mom's questions?
I honestly don't remember.
Was this a contentious divorce?
It was.
As part of your divorce, did you file a petition to ask the court for permission to relocate to South Florida?
I did.
And I think that was your amended petition. Not sure if we can see that very well. Here we go. It says the wife also desires to relocate to South Florida in order to provide a better quality of life for the children by increasing their access to close family and providing more stability and consistency. Who was the close family that was available in South Florida for the boys?
My mom, my dad, and my brother.
Why did you want to move to South Florida?
I had very unstable employment in Tallahassee. I had a wonderful job, but it was on grant money, so year to year I never knew if I would still have my job. I had a job offer that was very good in South Florida, and the assumption was that Danny was always going to be at a different school, a better school. He used to joke that he would take one bar exam for every 2 bar exams that I had to take while we moved around the country. And so it seemed like a way of having stability while he was climbing up the law professor ladder to be ultimately at Harvard or Yale.
And was relocation important to you?
It was, in terms of having a safe and stable place for my kids.
Did you consider having to live here in Tallahassee being stuck? Or had you referred to it previously as being stuck in Tallahassee?
I mean, I may have. The idea of being stuck is if you don't have permission to live anywhere you want to live. But I had a nice quality of life here.
Did you consider the worst case scenario to be that you would end up stuck here in Tallahassee if your petition was denied?
I don't know. I mean, at the time, I may have felt that way.
Okay. Might you have sent an email to a friend on March 24th of 2013 indicating, quote, "I do fear that the worst case scenario that could happen is that I will be stuck here in Tallahassee"?
It's possible that I sent that.
Would it refresh your recollection to review that item?
I'm happy to.
It's on tab 6 on one of those binders in front of you. Let me.
This is a very nice way of the prosecutor saying, I need you to say you said this.
It's going to be
this one.
Just starting to get spicy. I'm digging into my wasabi and soy sauce almonds, which are delicious and very spicy.
I see it's highlighted, so yes.
Okay, and did you also email a friend around the same time frame regarding life in Tallahassee couldn't compare to the life that you would be able to enjoy in South Florida with your brother Charlie and his boat and pool and hot tub and things like that?
It's certainly possible.
All right, that's on tab 7. Please refresh your recollection.
Yes.
And in fact, didn't you use the word stuck in your actual motion for relocation? Let's see if we can get there. Here, the wife is merely stuck in Tallahassee until the husband decides that the time is right for him to leave.
So my attorney did write that, and that sounds right.
Did Tallahassee feel claustrophobic to you?
Well, at this point in time, Danny was making lots of unplanned announcements to my office where we worked together. So I would see him at work. I never knew when he was showing up. So I'm sure, this is 12 years ago that's how I felt at that time.
Okay, but outside of the context of your relationship with Dan Markel, did you ever express that just the smallness and slowness of Tallahassee made you feel claustrophobic?
I don't remember saying that.
Please refer to tab 8 to refresh your recollection.
Your Honor, if I may at this time, the state tell us you're just saying the tab number, so we're not sure what document you're referring to.
Yes,
I
I
can. Binder is up on the witness stand. Ms. Kettleman, does the defense have a copy of the same binder?
No, Your Honor. I'll show them the tab.
Please do.
They should have the same binder.
That's a dense one. Were you able to find it?
I did. I found it's part of a sentence. Can I read the whole sentence?
Sure.
Tallahassee feels claustrophobic at times, given its smallness and slowness, and the fact that my friends cycle through here with transient regularity. So yes, at that moment in time, that's how I was feeling in 2013.
And relocation was pending at the time that you were feeling that way in that moment, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and relocation was also very important to your mother, wasn't it?
Yes.
All right, and did you have some discussions with your mother about relocation?
I did.
And was that during that time frame when it was pending?
Yes.
Okay, and do you see your mother in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
Could you please point her out and describe what she's wearing?
My mom is on right. I can't see her clothes from here, but she's directly across from me.
All right, is she wearing a headset on her head?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
The record will reflect.
Your mom didn't want you to be stuck in Tallahassee either, did she?
She did not.
She wanted the best for you, right?
She saw the best for me as not being in Tallahassee, yes.
That's right. She referred to being in Tallahassee that you were a hostage and a prisoner, right?
Yes, she did.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Clickergate continues.
We're scrolling through PowerPoint presentation.
Prisoner. Close enough. Did your mom express concerns that as a Tallahassee native, the judge presiding over your relocation motion would underestimate how much better it would be for you to live in South Florida?
She did.
All right, let me ask you a few questions about your parents. Your mom is Donna Adelson. Who's your dad?
My dad is Harvey Adelson.
All right. And where did your parents, I think you said they were in Coral Springs back in 2012?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
right? Okay. How long had they lived in the Coral Springs area?
I was born there, so from I think they started living there when my oldest brother was born, so since the early 70s.
So fair to say they had deep roots there in that area?
Yes.
Can you describe the relationship that your mom had with your kids during the time frame we're talking about? So separation to murder time frame?
It was very close. My mom taught my boys how to read. She taught them how to play chess. It was very close.
Were your parents employed during that time frame?
Yes.
What kind of work did they do?
My dad was a dentist, and my mom was the office manager for the dental practice.
All right, and what about your brother, Charlie? Did he have a role there as well?
He was a periodontist, and so I believe at some point he purchased the practice. I don't remember what year that was, but he would sometimes work from my dad's office and sometimes work from other offices around South Florida.
Was the dental practice, the family dental practice, a successful business?
I believe it was. My family never discussed money or finances with me, but I believe it was doing well.
Did you discuss your marital problems and resulting legal issues with your mom?
I did.
Talk about relocation, but in general, you did talk about your woes with your mom?
I did.
Okay. And I think you said you did send many of your divorce pleadings to her. Is that right?
I did.
What about your dad? What was his role in reference to your divorce pleadings?
I don't remember exactly. My parents have a shared email, so when I send an email to one of them, I would send it was being sent to both, but I don't know who was reading what or at what time.
Is it fair to say they were both welcome to read whatever you sent to that email address?
Yes.
And both welcome to reply as well?
Yes.
Who would reply more frequently, your mom or your dad, to those
My mom
types?
would reply more frequently.
Okay. Who took more of an interest in the day-to-day ins and outs of your litigation?
Probably my mom.
Okay. Is your mom overprotective of you?
Yes.
Is your mom an emotional person?
Yes.
What about your dad? Is he emotional as well?
I think so.
Okay, did you previously say he was more of a straight shooter and mom was more emotional?
I think so, but I think women tend to be more emotional and men tend to be less emotional.
Okay.
Before you continue, Ms. Kaplan, I am going to admit State 60 JJ at this time. Is there any objection? The defense wishes
Foundation is laid.
Yes,
Wow.
Your Honor. Same objection.
The court admits it over objection. For the record, you may continue.
Judge says
And I think
we've got enough.
that's the same exhibit that's in State 64AA, Judge. It's not necessary to have duplicates, but because of the way the evidence came out in this trial, that is present in State 64 as well.
States 64AA is admitted. As far as the final record, if you wish to remove one, you may, but both are admitted for the record.
Thank you, Judge. All right, is it fair to say that your mom, the defendant, is a controlling person?
I don't think my mom is a controlling person.
Did you say at one time back in 2013 that your mom operates with emotional subterfuge?
I may have said that.
Would you like to refresh your memory?
I can.
It's tab 45 in the binder in front of you.
These questions are designed artfully.
I'm not seeing it. Is it highlighted or is it just in the, it's a long, oh.
Oh, there it is.
No.
It's in bold.
Copyright. It's in the first paragraph on page 3.
Gentlemen, you can just walk up and show the witness the portion of what you wish for her to read to herself.
I will judge. Page 3.
This is 3, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Let me get the other copy. Sorry, I've lost it again. Let me try it.
I'm sorry.
Put it in this copy.
Okay.
All these copies should be the same.
Okay.
Alright, so the question was, did you previously say your mom operates with emotional subterfuge?
Yes.
Emotional subterfuge.
I honestly don't know what I meant at the time.
But not that she's controlling.
I don't think that's what I meant.
Did Dan Markel have a hard time understanding some of your mom's behaviors?
I don't remember that.
Well, did she think you incapable of driving to South Florida by yourself with the kids? This is back when they were little.
Yeah, I don't think she thought I was incapable, but I was breastfeeding and it was helpful to have someone with me.
So what was her practice to avoid you having to do that?
One of my parents would come with me for the long drive.
So they would rent a car, come up here, ride back with you, and then follow the same procedure to get you home?
They would drive with me if I was down there, back up, and then rent a car to come home.
And did that procedure occur the week before the murder? There was a visit the week before the murder, correct?
I think it was 2 weeks before.
Okay. And on that trip, is that how it was handled, where they rented a car and came up to get you?
Yes.
Okay. Did your dad think that was necessary, or was that a mom thing?
No, my dad probably thought it was more necessary.
Okay, and did your dad make a practice of supporting whatever your mom wanted? Is that kind of the general rule?
Yeah.
Was she the dominant force in the household?
I mean, I think my dad had more of a quiet strength, so it's hard to say who was a dominant force. I think they were both equally strong in their parenting.
Okay, did you previously describe this back in 2013 that your mom was the dominant force in the household? If you need to refresh, it's tab 97.
Okay. So this one goes up to 93. Is it?
Check the very back. Got a few extras tucked in there. I'll just approach this copy.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
You did say mom was the dominant force in the household.
Yes.
Did your mom ever try to micromanage your life?
Yes.
Your career?
I don't know about my career. I chose to be a lawyer. It wasn't a very popular choice in my household.
Yes, and there were different types of areas of law that she would have preferred you practice. Do you agree with that?
I actually think they were really proud of what I was doing.
Not to suggest she wasn't proud of you, but she was encouraging you to pursue a different type of law that would be more lucrative. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
And what about your dating life? Did she meddle there?
Yes.
Did she create a dating profile for you on Match.com?
I don't know if it was Match.com, but I do remember a dating profile at some point.
That she created for you?
I didn't use it, but yes.
And conducted searches for men in the Miami area and sent them to you?
I think this was when I was living in DC, maybe.
Okay, let's go forward a little bit here. Sorry, we'll get there. Okay, so here we have an email dated January 17th, 2013. For the record, this is 64I. And it reads, so honey, so you think I'm nuts, but when you get a moment, check out some of these whom I've pre-screened for you. And these are guys in Miami, right? After all, you're going to be in Miami here and there. Why not see who's out there, right?
Yes.
Okay. And here's some options that she sent you. Here's an interesting guy, etc.
Oh, do show the pictures.
Okay.
I want to see the profile pics. Greeners. Saw that, Greeners.
Did you ever feel like your mom was walking all over you?
I don't remember feeling that way.
Okay, what about specifically regarding this divorce?
I don't. I mean, I had a really good attorney and I was making the decisions I wanted to make.
Okay. And did you, back in April of 2013, tell a friend that you were trying to find a way to coexist with your mom that didn't feel like she was trampling your autonomy?
I'm sure I said that in 2013.
How did your mom feel about Dan Markel in this time frame, 2012 to 2016?
And I think I think a lot changed between 2012 and 2016. So I think her feelings about him changed over time.
Okay, and what about in 2016? Did she hate Dan Markel?
No, not in 2016.
What about 2014? Did she hate him then?
No.
Did you say do you remember giving a law enforcement interview in reference to this case?
Yes, I remember.
That was the same day that Mr. Markel was shot, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and did you say in that interview, for court and counsel, I'm referring to page 288, lines 24 through 289, line 1, quote, my parents have more reason to dislike Danny than almost anyone else?
At that point, I was sitting with law enforcement for 6 hours and had just been told that Danny had been shot. So I was in shock and I was trying to help the police think of anything I could possibly think of that would be helpful.
And are you suggesting that after 6 hours you became fatigued to the point that you started saying things that weren't true?
No, I didn't say anything that wasn't true. I just was in shock. I just kept talking and talking and talking.
When your mom is really upset about something, does she talk about it a lot?
Yes.
And when she talks about it a lot, and I'm referring you back to this time frame, does she talk to your brother Charlie specifically a lot?
My mom and Charlie have always talked a lot.
Okay. And was Charlie kind of like your mom's problem solver?
I don't know about that. I kind of feel like it was where she would help him more throughout childhood and adulthood. She would help him solve problems, not really.
She definitely did a lot for him, didn't she?
She did.
She helped him with his business. She helped him with his personal life, his finances, his bills, remember to pay the whatever. She was like still mothering him into adulthood, right?
Yes.
Okay. But as far as meddling in your life, did your mom feel that Charlie could make more progress with you than she could on items like who you were going to date?
I would just be guessing about that.
Okay. At the time of Dan Markel's murder, was the defendant, your mother, very angry at Dan Markel?
Before he died?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And you hated him too, right?
At certain points, I was very frustrated with him.
Did you refer to him as an STD?
I don't remember saying that.
Tab 5.
Every time she says I don't remember. Tab. For health reasons, I'm using chopsticks to eat my almonds.
It looks like I made that analogy.
Danny is an STD. One wrong mistake, marrying him, and this will never go away. Is that what you said?
I did.
And did you share that kind of sentiment with your mother?
I don't remember ever saying that, so I don't think it's something I said very often.
And this was said in an email on February 26th of 2013, correct?
It was.
Approximately 17 months before the murder?
Yes, I don't think it was an email though. It looks like it was sort of an iMessage.
Okay. Did you ever refer to your ex-husband as the Dark Lord?
I don't remember saying that, but I certainly might have.
Did you refer to your ex-husband as Gibbers?
I did.
What is the meaning of Gibbers?
Gibbers was just a silly name that a friend helped me come up with to basically make him feel less scary. It was nonsense.
Did it reference Jew in boots?
That I don't remember.
It wasn't a friendly name, right?
It was a silly name.
Did you ever say that you hated Dan Markel?
I don't remember saying it, but I certainly could have.
Tab 31, please, to refresh your memory.
This lawyer is teaching the witness not to say, I don't remember.
I said that I hate him in this moment.
Okay, and did you say in that email, that same email, quote, I hate my children's dad?
I did.
And do you agree that email was sent approximately 15 months before Mr. Markel was murdered?
It was in April of 2013.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yes, ma'am. The approach with what I've marked as 56A, B, C, and 57. I asked you about the Gibbers nickname. Did you have that nickname stored in your cell phone as Dan Markel's contact name?
I did.
I'll approach and show you these exhibits and ask if they're fair and accurate. Contacts, 56A. Who is that a contact for? Do you know?
It's my mom's phone number, so that would have been, it's a picture of Ben as a little guy and my mom.
Okay, so fair and accurate contact.
Yes.
From your phone for mom at that time.
Yes.
Okay, and then 56B.
That's my dad.
And that's his phone number.
It is.
Okay, 56C.
That's my brother.
Charlie.
Yes.
Okay, fair and accurate phone number for him at that time.
Yes.
And then 57, is that the contact you had in there for your ex-husband, Dan Markel?
Yes.
Right. Judge, at this time I'd ask to move into evidence 56 and 57.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 56 and 57 are admitted at this time.
Did you ever refer to your ex-husband, Dan Markel, as an emotional terrorist?
I very well could have. I don't remember saying that, but I...
That one's on tab 34. I'm so sorry. Is that? Yes, I believe it is 34.
It is. I see it. I said it in December of 2013.
Approximately 7 months before his murder?
December to, yes, approximately 7 months.
And tab 35, in June of 2014, did you say of your ex-husband, I hate him so?
I don't see it.
Are you on tab 35?
No, I was on tab 34. It's tab 35.
Sorry, yes.
I did write that.
And that was approximately 3 weeks before Mr. Markel was murdered, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Lost my clicker. Clickers are a real problem for me. All right, next I want to ask you about Mr. Markel's response to your petition to relocate. Is it fair to say he was adamantly opposed to that motion?
Yes.
All right, and you all fought over things large, of course, but also very small, like in this pleading, a tennis racket is mentioned, right?
Yes.
And, oh, jumped ahead on us. Okay, let's go back. In Mr. Markel's response, and for court and counsel, this is page 82 of Exhibit 60, he indicates, the husband affirmatively alleges that the wife helped herself to non-marital assets, including money and stocks owned prior to marriage, as well as numerous personal non-marital belongings of the husband, such as luggage, bicycle, tennis racket, and family heirlooms. Did you take those things when you vacated the property?
I did remember taking his tennis racket by accident, and I returned that, but otherwise I didn't take his belongings.
Did you strategize to leave him in a way that would cause or inflict maximum damage upon him?
No.
Is that something your mom ever said?
I don't remember that.
Did you discuss with your mom how and when you would leave your marriage?
I did.
Do you recall a November 2nd, 2012 email where Dan Markel was saying to you, you know, let's put all this aside. This is all about the kids. Let's act toward each other in a way that they can be proud of. Did he say that to you?
I remember reading an email like that.
All right, and we talked about the Aqua Ridge apartment, or I guess it was a home, residence. Is this a fair and accurate photo? I've blurred your kids' faces, but of the living space there?
Thank you for doing that. Yes, that's our home.
Okay. And did your mom help you secure this place to live? Did she have any involvement in that?
She did.
Okay, what involvement did she have?
She helped me move in.
Okay, did she help you locate the place to live?
I think so.
Okay. Did she come up and look at places with you as well?
We did.
Okay. Did Dan Markel threaten you in the pleadings with federal kidnapping charges?
He did.
And that was associated with the way he claimed that you left the marriage?
Yes.
Okay. And he says you took the kids and did not tell him where they were for several, I think I've seen days and weeks. Is that true?
It's true that he said that. It's not true that that's what happened.
What was his position on your motion to relocate?
We did talk about it before I filed it, and he was amenable to figuring it out, but once I filed it, he was against it.
Okay. Did he allege in his response that the sole stated reason that you wanted to relocate was to be closer to your parents?
He did say that in his response.
And is that the response that your mom referred to as his 23-page rant?
Probably.
She had a lot of thoughts about that particular filing, didn't she?
Yes.
Okay. And she laid those out in an email to you. I know you remember. That's the whole your non-negotiable is relocation.
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall having 2 long mediations to try to resolve your divorce without a trial?
Yes.
And were those mediations successful?
They were not.
Was Mr. Markel seeking to depose your mother as part of the divorce proceedings?
I don't remember that.
What about your brother Charlie? Did he care about whether you moved to South Florida or not?
I think so. I mean, I think he would have liked for me to be closer to him and have the kids closer to him.
Would it have been okay with him if you had made a decision to stay in Tallahassee?
I would have imagined so, yes.
And after the relocation motion was denied, you were kind of like, well, maybe I have to stay in Tallahassee. Wasn't there at least a moment of that for you?
I mean, it wasn't maybe, that was the court's decision, and I respect the court's decision, and you know, I would make the best of it.
What about Charlie? Was he outraged by the court's decision?
I honestly don't remember him being outraged.
But to your mom, it was a big deal.
My mom was really upset.
Yeah. It was described by your mom in several places as like a life and death proposition. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think my mom thought my life in Tallahassee wasn't good.
Is it true that you never would have left Dan Markel without your mom's suggestions?
Objection, lady.
Overruled. She may answer the question based on her own knowledge.
I would have left Danny regardless of anyone else's input. I was very unhappy.
Did you ever write that you would have never left him without your mom's suggestions?
I don't remember saying that.
Please refer to tab 41 and see if it refreshes your memory.
I thought it would slow me down, but apparently I'm really good with chopsticks, so I'm eating them just as fast with chopsticks as I was.
I do say here I wouldn't have done it on my own.
Okay. Do you specifically reference your mom?
I say my parents and brother's suggestions and support.
Okay.
I think because I wasn't happy, but part of me thought maybe I would just stay until the kids grew up.
Just one moment, I've lost my place a little bit. All right, I think you already testified you did not offer your mom your divorce petition to edit. Is that your testimony?
Sorry.
Did you send your divorce petition to your mother to assist you in editing it?
I don't remember doing it.
Okay, and did your mom also pretend to be you to Mercer University to help you complete your divorce affidavit?
I have no memory of that.
Got a little pop out here of this email from your mom. Obviously, I pretended to be you contacting these financial institutions. Is that something that she would normally do on your behalf? Pose as you?
I had very little understanding or involvement of my financial situation, and so that might have been an account that my dad had created for me or that had like co-signatory authority. So That's possible.
Okay. And here, did you forward a letter that was written on or sent to you on December 19th of 2013 from Dan Markel, where he was kind of wanting you back and making a lot of concessions? I'll stop coming home late, etc. Do you recall that long email? Did you forward that to your mother?
I very well may have.
And do you recall she replied with sort of a paragraph by paragraph breakdown of that, Dan Markel email?
So I see that here. I mean, I certainly didn't remember, but I see that there's a response here.
Okay. I think I've got her responses. Did you respond to her? Very nicely done, Mom. This is great.
It looks like I did, yes.
Okay. And then we go to L. In her responses, I guess they've got a joint email, so how do we know it's Mom and not Dad? Do we?
I don't.
Does Dad send responses like these? This is all the response. Would Harvey detail like that in a response?
No, but it could be that my dad and Mom were talking and that she was the scribe, right? That they were, that it reflects both of their thoughts and that my mom's the one writing it.
And many of the emails are signed Mom and Dad, or they reference Dad and I feel this way. Was it common for your mom to express for the two of them a certain position?
Yes.
And in this particular email, so this is a little confusing, but she responds paragraph by paragraph, K3, K5, K6, referencing Dan Markel's email to you and refuting each paragraph. And she felt that his position was outrageous, right?
Yes.
And she thought his religious practices were extreme, didn't she?
She did, yes.
She was extremely concerned about the well-being of the children in reference to his religious practices.
Yes.
She wanted a psychological evaluation of Mr. Markel.
Yes.
He didn't need a psychological evaluation, did he?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Was he an extremely intelligent, accomplished law professor?
Yes.
Did your mom ever call Dan Markel any disparaging names around this time frame?
She did.
Okay, including piece of shit?
Yes.
Asshole?
Yes.
A narcissist?
Yes.
A bully?
Yes.
A bastard?
Yes.
So you skipped a B word. Did you miss any, guys?
Did your mom help you prepare for your meetings with your divorce lawyer?
My mom offered help, but I don't think I needed help preparing for meetings with my divorce lawyer.
Who was your divorce lawyer?
Kristen Adamson.
Your mom, in an email dated January 9th, 2013, indicates that she thinks the job opportunities that you had in South Florida was a major bargaining chip in your divorce. Did you agree with that?
Did I agree with it at the time?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Thank you, Lady Draconis.
She did a lot of work sort of making arguments to that point, didn't she?
I believe so.
And did you forward your correspondence with your lawyer to your mother?
I did.
Publishing 64. I'm going to skip to J. She wanted to be kept informed, right?
Yes.
Your mom mentions, let's see if I can find it. This is 64G, your South Florida legal team. She will try to remember to discuss things with your South Florida legal team. Who was that?
I think she was jokingly referring to herself.
Oh, she's the South Florida legal team.
I don't know who else it would have been. I think that's why there's a smiley face. I think it was a joke.
Okay. More questions for your upcoming hearing with your attorney. Did you forward your mom's questions or ask your mom's questions when you met with your attorney?
Probably not all of them, but if there was something that I thought was useful, I probably forwarded it or had a conversation about it.
And here you can see in paragraph 2, your mom referred to Dan Markel as Gibbers as well, right?
It was a silly name, yeah. Let's go to the order denying your petition to relocate. Was your mom aware that the order was filed? Yes.
Okay. And this is language from the order denied with prejudice, meaning you can't re-raise it, right?
Right, you can't refile.
And your mom wanted to fight the decision, didn't she?
She did.
Did you feel railroaded by her in this email where she's kind of bullying you to keep fighting?
Please rephrase your question.
Did you feel railroaded by your mother?
No.
Okay, but she wants you to continue to take action.
It was denied. I wasn't taking any more action.
Not any more legal action.
I was not taking any more action of any kind.
Didn't your mom have some other ideas for some other actions that could happen?
She did.
She did want to take it to an appeal. Do you remember that?
Actually, I don't remember, but...
That's on tab 43 of your binder.
Yes, I see.
Okay, but she also wanted to develop this plan of action that could be implemented between the time you learned of the relocation denial and your final hearing in court to maybe strong-arm Mr. Markel into agreeing to the relocation. Do you remember that email?
Yes.
Okay, and she had some ideas for how to do that, right?
Yes.
And she said Gibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So what was her plan of action? What did she suggest you could do to get Dan Markel to relent and let you take his kids to South Florida?
She suggested that I pretend that the boys had become Christian.
Is that something you would ever consider doing?
No.
She was going to pay for them to get instruction on the Christian faith, right?
That was what she said.
And she said she looked into it and she could get him baptized in a couple weeks. Do you remember that?
I don't remember, but I'm sure it's here.
Do you remember her imploring you to put on a good act?
I do.
Did your mom, I don't know, do you have any acting training?
No.
Do you know why your mom would Google how to teach an actress emotion?
I don't. I don't know.
Did she ever share with you or forward you any tips on how to bring emotion or fake emotion?
Not that I remember of any kind.
All right. What about a financial offer? Was that part of it as well?
Yes.
What was the financial offer to be?
I think it was $1 million.
Who was going to pay the $1 million?
My mom, my dad, and my brother.
And they were going to pay $1 million. You didn't have to pay any of it?
I don't remember having to pay any of it.
Okay. And they were going to give Dan Markel $1 million for what?
So that I could relocate.
Okay. Did you ever make that offer to Dan Markel?
No.
To your knowledge, did anyone make it to him?
I don't think so.
Would it have worked?
I don't think so.
Needed something more drastic?
She's all about getting control from Dan Markel, right?
Yes.
And you told her these ideas were crazy, didn't you?
I did.
I will not be introducing my children to Christianity. I truly believe it will backfire.
Again, Your Honor, the prosecutor is testifying and leading.
As the counsel testifying, sustained, please make sure you're asking open-ended questions to the witness. Ms. Kappelman.
I'm reading from State's Exhibit 64V, which is in evidence.
Please proceed.
Did you
Continue, he says.
say it would backfire?
Yes, those are my words.
And what did you mean by backfire?
I don't remember, but I can read there below what I was saying.
Did it have to do with this will give him ammunition to pursue things in court?
I might have meant that at the time.
Did your mom respect your decision not to use her suggestions?
I mean, she had to have, right? I'm a grown-up.
She kept pushing, though, didn't she?
She was suggesting other ideas.
Okay. January 27th, 2013 email 64W. Charlie brought up a good point when he said that Americans were dropped behind enemy lines during World War II wearing Nazi uniforms to get what they wanted. They had a job to get done, and they did what they needed to do to accomplish it. You have a job to get done and a very short time frame to accomplish it. If you dressed your kids up in Hitler Youth uniforms and brought them down here, I could care less if it was an act of defiance and would show Jibbers that he's not in control. Did she suggest that to you?
Yes.
She urged you to rethink your decision not to implement her suggestions, didn't she?
Yes.
She wanted you to do an act of defiance that will put a scare into this jackass. Why would she want to scare Mr. Markel?
So that he would let me relocate, I guess.
She says here, and I'm still on 64W, I don't know how much of the big picture you're seeing, honey. I don't know if you can realize that not only what you can provide for your boy's life, but for your own life, all depends on this change. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So she did view this as a very serious matter, right?
Yes.
And she's sending all of this after the relocation is denied, right?
Yes.
Everyone has a price. Fight for yourself. Okay, I'm showing you this slide also from Exhibit 64W, which indicates that you were going to go into the $1 million offer as a third. Does that refresh your memory on that deal?
I mean, it refreshes my memory, but it's not something I ever considered or thought about doing.
So you would not have paid up the third of $1 million?
No.
Moving on to 64X. This is an email in which your mom expresses opinions on several items, including the marital home, the parenting schedule, alimony, child support, health insurance. Did you want her opinion on all these things?
I mean, I don't remember, but I think we always want our parents' opinion on things, even if we don't take it.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can't hear it.
Please restate your answer.
Counselor asked me if I wanted my mom's opinion on those things, and it's hard for me to remember at the time if I wanted other opinions, but I said, I guess, people always want their parents' opinions on things.
And your mother's opinion was that she wanted you to aggravate your ex-husband, right?
Yes.
To screw him financially.
Yes.
To get a win.
Yes.
She thought your divorce was something to be won, right?
It seems that way.
When was the divorce final?
It would have been final the summer of 2013.
July 31st of 13 sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we saw that that was the date for your trial. Did a trial take place?
Yes.
Okay. With witnesses being called?
No, there weren't any witnesses.
Okay, so it was a settlement?
Yes.
And did you reach the settlement on the day that the trial was supposed to be conducted?
I think maybe the day before.
Okay. I want to ask you some questions about voice authentication. Your cell phone, was it collected by police in this case?
I gave the police my cell phone to search.
Let them download it and return it to you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you familiar with a wiretap that was conducted in this case?
I've seen a lot of wires.
Where phone calls were intercepted by the police and recorded by the police?
Yes.
And were you asked to listen to a disc of calls to see if you could authenticate the voices on those
Yes.
discs? Okay. And were you able to authenticate some of the voices on there?
I was able to authenticate the voices of my family.
All right, so Charlie Adelson, Donna Adelson, Harvey Adelson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and did you initial on State's Exhibit 135 by each of those voices that you were able to authenticate?
I did.
Certainly can't read this, but
Pantufle, thank you.
small.
27 months. Oh, gee.
Yes.
that's where you initialed. Okay.
I did.
This time I'd ask to introduce State's Exhibit 135.
Any objection? I'm asking if there's an objection to the defense. States 135 is entered.
After the divorce was final, was there any more litigation between you and Dan Markel?
There was.
All right, and who was the first one to file something after the divorce was final?
I don't remember who was first to file.
Because you both filed some things afterwards, right?
Well, Danny was supposed to pay me for the deal with our settlement was I was supposed to take my name off the title to the house, and he was supposed to pay me half the value of the house. So I went that first week and took my name off the title and then just waited. And when I reached out, when it was time for him to pay what he owed, he said, I'm not going to pay it. And I asked why, and he said, I have my reasons. And so my attorney had to file to enforce the settlement agreement because otherwise he was going to be held in contempt of court.
The court had given him a deadline to make the payment, and he didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
So you filed a motion to enforce
the settlement agreement.
And he filed a counter motion saying, well, I'm not paying because she's in violation for all these different things. Remember that?
I do. And then he accused my attorney of committing fraud.
Right.
Must have been a fun day in court.
One of his big complaints was failure to facilitate the communication agreement, where I guess you all had some type of agreement to provide Skype calls with the kids to each other when you didn't have the children. Do you remember him complaining about that?
I do. I remember if I was 1 minute late, he would contact the parenting coordinator and complain that I was in violation.
That was a pretty regular complaint of his in this era of these filings, wasn't it?
Yes.
And when he sent an email, for example, 64N, let's see if we have that. Alleging these sorts of violations and including, quote, accusing you and your mother of making zero efforts to facilitate communication between he and the kids. Did you forward this email to your mother?
I don't remember if I did or not.
Tab.
And during this time period, did Dan Markel send you quite a few emails pleading with you to play nice? For example, March 7th of 2013, Wendi, I really regret that things have gotten to the place where they are. Do you think we could try to resolve more issues directly with each other to prevent so much of the unnecessary tension and cost? Things like that.
Yes.
Okay. But then you didn't seem to be able to actually play nice with each other, even though it seems like maybe that's both what you wanted, at least at certain points.
I was always trying to play nice.
Well, you were threatening to hold him in contempt of court.
I wasn't threatening to hold him in contempt. That's what my lawyer filed. That's what happens
well,
when
your lawyer represents you, doesn't she, Mrs. Adelson?
She does, but I wasn't threatening him.
Did you cease all Skype communication between Dan Markel and the boys on March 12th of 2013?
I don't remember that, no.
Tab 54, please.
Oh, I'm loving this tab. Her recollection of these events is very different than prosecution's.
It looks like my attorney advised me to do that.
Did you cease all Skype conversations between Dan Markel and the boys?
Again, I don't remember. It's been a very long time. But if my attorney advised me to do it, then I probably did it.
Okay. And the day that you filed that motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement and hold Dan Markel in contempt, see if I can find that. What was the date of that filing?
It looks like it was October 31st, 2013.
Was that the same date that you backed out of the contract to buy a house here in Tallahassee?
I don't remember if it was the same date, but at that point I didn't have the money I needed to buy the house because Danny didn't pay what he was supposed to.
Okay, but you don't remember which day you backed out of buying the house?
I don't.
Could it have been the same day that this was filed? Halloween of 13?
It may have been.
Okay, and was it Charlie, your brother, who talked you out of buying the house?
No, I didn't have the money to buy the house.
So you don't remember him discussing that with you?
No.
Okay. And did your mom have a position one way or the other on whether you would buy the house?
I don't remember.
The image that I just had up there, was this image sent to you on October 31st? How did this get onto your cell phone dated October 31st?
It looks like something my brother would have sent me at some point. I don't remember if it was what day it was, but I remember seeing that picture.
Okay, do you have any reason to dispute the metadata associated with it on your phone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you recognize your brother in this photo?
I do.
And who's the woman he's pictured with here?
Katie.
Is that Catherine Magbanoa?
Yes.
So did your brother at any time send you this picture? Not at any time. Did your brother on October 31st send you this picture and basically tell you not to buy the house because you weren't going to be living in Tallahassee much longer?
I don't remember him ever telling me not to buy the house or that I wasn't going to be living in Tallahassee. I really wanted to buy that house.
Do you remember, after all the drama with the Skype, asking your mom, let's see if I can find it here, to help you work on the Skype thing because it was becoming a real problem between you and Mr. Markel?
I honestly don't remember, but I see this email and I must have sent this.
And then a few months later, in February of 14, Mr. Markel files a motion to enforce marital settlement agreements, and that we've touched on that already. That was alleging that you committed fraud on the court during the original settlement. Remember that?
I do. I remember him saying that my attorney helped perpetrate a fraud.
He did. He suggested that the court should send a strong message to you about your malfeasance by awarding him the entirety of the assets that he alleged were undisclosed. Do you remember that?
I do.
And did your mom view that filing?
I don't remember.
Isn't that the one she responded to? We need a plan of attack. We need to aggravate him the way he's trying to aggravate you.
I remember we just looked at that. I just didn't remember what it was in response to.
Okay. And did you respond to his allegations?
I would
in court, in a court filing.
We must have responded in a court filing to that, because if someone accuses you of fraud, at that point my attorney had to recuse herself because she had to become a witness in the case and to say that that didn't happen. And then I had to find a new attorney to represent me.
Okay, and
Kelly
did you
Dobbs,
do a filing in response to his counter motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement, alleging, and this is page 439 for court and counsel, that a vast majority of the former husband's motion contains allegations that are redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous? That sort of language, does that sound familiar?
It doesn't actually sound familiar, but I would have responded in a motion, so I'm sure my attorney filed something.
Did your mom move around this time?
I don't think so.
Do you remember your parents signing a lease at a place called the Continuum?
My parents were spending some time there on the weekends, but they didn't move until 2015 when I was clerking for a judge at that time.
All right, so they signed a lease to have sort of a weekend property. Was that in South Beach?
Yes.
Okay, and that does March of 14 sound right for that?
I honestly, I don't remember when they signed a lease there, but it's possible.
Well, when you ultimately left Tallahassee, which we'll get to, did you go to live at the Continuum or at Coral Springs or somewhere else?
In Miami at the Continuum.
And do you know why they chose to move into the Continuum? I mean, this is about 3-4 months before the murder.
My brother had a girlfriend that lived there, and he really liked the property, and he thought maybe my parents might like to retire there. So he was suggesting that they start trying someplace other than Coral Springs to retire.
And did your mom add you as a resident to the Continuum on May 16th of 2014?
I don't remember that, but the Continuum, the apartment complex, had very high security, and so it may have been that if you wanted someone to come and not be considered a guest, they had to be considered a resident.
Okay, tab 95, please.
Happy 13 months.
And
this is
the
going to
question
ruin the
is,
tour.
would you have been considered a resident as of May 16th of 2014?
And I don't know, so you want me to see whether on this document I was added as a resident?
Yes, ma'am.
It looks like I was added and my brother were added, and then my other brother was the in case of emergency, and it was in April of 2014.
April of 2014. Okay, so about 3 months before the murder?
Yes.
And that was just so that you could come and go whenever you were visiting?
That was my understanding.
Do you recall a motion being filed by Dan Markel that we've referred to as the grandma motion?
No.
Did Dan Markel in March 26th of 2014 file a motion seeking to preclude your mother from having unsupervised contact with your kids?
I don't remember him filing that motion, but it sounds like if it's a motion you have a name for, then it exists.
And in that motion, do you recall, or does it refresh your memory, that he was saying, Grandma, that the boys were telling him, Grandma says you're stupid, Grandma says she hates you, and as a result, he was concerned about your mom alienating the kids or turning the kids against him?
I remember hearing about this motion.
Okay. And that is a motion that was never got to be heard, right?
That was part of the motion to enforce the settlement agreement.
But which was never heard?
Which was never heard.
Because he was killed?
Because, yes.
And do you remember why you didn't forward your mom the actual motion that was filed in reference to that?
I don't.
Okay, if you will check tab, see if you can find tab 98 in the back there, please.
That's a lot of tabs. Each one of those tabs was built for the purpose of refresh your recollection to read what you said on that date.
I have tab 98.
Okay. Does it refresh your recollection as to the question, which is, where was your mom on the day that the relocation was filed, which for your reference was 3/26/14?
So this email is from 3/25/14, and it looks like my parents were coming up. It says coming on Thursday, and this was written Tuesday the 25th, so my guess is that they were coming on Thursday the 27th.
And was it their practice to typically stop in Orlando and spend the night on the trip up to Tallahassee?
I don't remember.
Okay. The allegations that are laid out in Dan Markel's motion were sent to you in an email before the motion was ever filed. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, no.
In Publishing 64AA, a December 16th, 2013 email. This email indicates that Dan Markel is going to be introducing a major issue, grandparental alienation. This will be part of our ongoing effort to resolve outstanding issues, but basically at the bottom there, Ben announced to me Abba. What does Abba mean?
It's Abba. It means father in Hebrew.
Father. Grandma says you're stupid. Okay, and he details a couple, I think it's 3 different instances in which his boys have told him that Grandma, your mother, has told them that you're trying to take my sunshines away, she hates you, that sort of thing. Does this refresh your memory at all about those allegations?
It does.
Okay. And this email, you did forward this email to your mother. Do you recall that?
I don't recall that, but it makes sense that I would have.
And your mom responded to it, or someone responded to it, wow. Do you remember that?
I was shown that email yesterday.
Okay. And you forwarded that email not only to your mom, but to a total of 12 different people. Do you remember that?
I remember being very surprised that he was trying to accuse a member of the Florida bar of fraud and going to all these lengths to avoid paying money that he owed me.
Okay. And is that the reason why you sent it to the 12 people?
It was pretty shocking what he was doing.
Did your mom respond at all to that allegation regarding her alienating the kids?
I don't remember a response other than the one I was shown that said wow, but I don't know if that was my dad responding or my mom responding.
But the allegation was in reference to your mom, right?
The allegation was in reference to my mom.
Okay. And in fact, the next day, because the parenting coordinator was in on the original thread, you forwarded the email a second time to your mom, didn't you, with the parenting coordinator's response. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, but it makes sense that I would have forwarded it.
Do you remember just, let's see, a couple months before the death of Dan Markel, saying to a friend of yours, I think her name is Jane, does that sound familiar?
I had a friend named Jane.
Telling Jane, quote, Danny is a monster.
Overrule, the witness may testify based on her memory.
I don't remember telling Jane that I thought Danny was a monster.
Okay, was Jane one of the people you forwarded the email to? Dan's email?
I don't remember.
Okay. But it was the same day that you called him a monster. Do you remember that?
I don't.
The objection was all of these questions are leading. Judge said overruled.
I want to talk a little bit about your brother, Charlie. Judge, I don't know if you're wanting a recess, this is a good time. It's getting a little tedious, I'm sure.
Please approach, says the judge. It's a little bit early. It's 11:56. We're 4 minutes before noon. We've taken lunch at noon before in this trial, I think. On Friday, I think it was a noon lunch. This is some great back and forth. I think the witness is very well aware what information they have against her and what they don't have. And a little legal battle going back and forth between the two. It's pretty fun. Tab counter, or I don't recall counter, it's really high. I wonder what questions the defense will ask. This will be amazing. Peter Ware, member for 28 months. OG. Good times, good times. Thank you very much. 28 months, Peter.
Before we continue with the examination of this witness, we are going to have our lunch break at this point. I am going to remind you once again not to discuss this case with each other or anyone else. Also, you are prohibited from looking at any information or reports concerning this case as well. For the lunch hour, there is a cafe here in the courthouse and also some other businesses within close walking distance. If you choose to eat together, you may do so. Again, the only prohibitions are what I've previously outlined. Please return at 1:15 and we will continue with the examination of Wendi Adelson by both the state and the defense at that point. Enjoy your lunch break. The gallery is to remain in the room for right now until the jurors have exited.
Hold up. Gallery has to wait. Let the jury go. Give them a head start. It hasn't been really tense between the witness and the prosecution.
For the attorneys and the witness, we will have the same report time back, 1:15. Do any matters need to be heard before we go into the break?
No, Judge. Nothing from the state.
Very well. Enjoy your break, everyone.
Enjoy your break, everyone. And with that, we get to go to lunch. So, wow. The exchange between the prosecution and the witness has been a professional one. But there's some undertones in there that have been fun. So I'm excited. I want to see where this goes. I think as we get closer to the murder, I think it's going to get a little more tense now that we've laid some groundwork. I think the prosecution did a great job of doing that. I've got a lot of messages which I was not able to get. I'm going to go back over all of them really quickly, just as a big thank you to all y'all who reached a membership milestone. Let's see. Jackie Ferreira, welcome to the gallery. Kelly H., thanks for gifting a membership. Lisa Pye, member for 24 months. OG, 2 years in this incredible community. Wow, love to all. Thank you. Miss Chris, member for 27 months. Another OG. Happy Monday. Thank you very much, Miss Chris. Claire, sorry, I wasn't able to read this during trial. I did see this. Member for 12 months. What a trial to celebrate my year anniversary of being part of this great community and the best host ever. Claire, thanks for the kind words and thanks for the 12 months. It would not be the same without you here. Thank you. Selena K gifted 5 memberships, which is not showing up. There we go. It's just a little slow. Thank you, Selena, for your generosity. Katrina Bunny, member for 2 months, says, a gibbers means a person who is reluctant to do something or who holds back from an action. And apparently there might be another derogatory definition specific to the Jewish faith from that as well. That's something I learned today. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. So, Donna G, member for 6 months. It says 6 months, but been here since Gray since Brooks, which makes you an OG. Bree Roz, member for 4 months, and she includes something witty, fun, and supportive. Thank you very much for following instructions. Allison, member for 23 months, another OG. 1 more month to my birthday and my pink courthouse. Wow, 2 years. Annie, member for 6 months. Happy to be here. Annie, we are happy you're here as well. Tumwater Troy, member for 23 months. Member of the jury. Thank you, Tumwater Troy, for your support, and thanks for being from, just one of the normal ones from Tumwater, Washington. Thank you very much. We like going up there. Melissa and Chris, member for 11 months, also of the jury. Thank you, Melissa and Chris, for your support. We've been here since Alex. Thank you for all you do. That makes you an OG. Let's see. We've got a few more. Got to go faster. Ricky C, member for 25 months, another OG. Thank you for what you do and don't do. BG, member for 19 months. Love this beautiful, welcoming community. You can tell we gave the instructions on how to do membership milestones because all y'all did it. Unholy Saint, member for 27 months. This channel rocks. OG, thank you very much. Francis Fitzgerald, hit like if you're ready for a family spice. We are, and it's delivering. It's going to get better. Libby, member for 22 months. Can her testimony be used in a custody case? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think it can, Libby, but I'm not 100% on that. Mika 801, as a mom and daughter, it's still sad. This is a sad situation. Lady Draconis, one of our favorite mods from Rob's channel, Law and Lumber. Welcome for the demonetization fund. I think we skated barely under the radar on that one. Chem Lady, member for 10 months, moving closer to a new caller, 2 more months, and you'll be there. Pantoufle, never put anything in writing that you wouldn't want read back to you in court. True dat. Catherine, member for 19 months. Wendi, do you have amnesia? She's forgetting a few things. This is going to ruin the tour. Member for 13 months. Says, oh, I'm behind. I just saw I missed my 12-month anniversary, so here's to 13. Thank you. This is going to ruin the tour. Let's see. Where did that take us to? A couple more. Peter Ware, member for 28 months. An OG. Good times. Thank you, Peter. Georgia Culture, member for 31 months. 31. That's awesome. How fun is this? Hey, everyone. OG Georgia Culture. Thank you so much. And I think that finishes it off for the membership milestones. Congratulations to all those who reached a milestone. That is just awesome. We are going to take a little break, and we're going to come back after the lunch hour. I have had pretty much a cup full of spicy wasabi and soy sauce almonds, which I've resorted to eating with chopsticks. I thought that chopsticks would slow me down, but apparently I'm just really good at eating with chopsticks, and I'm still eating way too many almonds. They are so good. They're so good. Although I've gone through already my 3 bottles of water, so I need to restock. When we come back, we're going to be going back to court, which we're sort of there right now. We're up to 13 judicial moments. 13 seems a little low. I might have missed 1 or 2. Let me know if I did. So anyway, when we come back, we're going to be going back to court and following this. The state is not done. They're about to introduce the questions about Charlie, about Charlie's girlfriend Katie, maybe the hitman, the post actions, if anything. That's going to be some juicy stuff. But in the meantime, we're going to portal y'all over there, and then you can go out and get some lunch. So let me build the portal really quickly. We already have somebody there waiting at the landing who has been first in chat. Congratulations, Fire Girl. I think it's Fire Girl Handmade by Wendi. I think that was who it was. I'll just double check. If not, I apologize. We'll announce it to the right person. Round 2 coming up. So buckle up. It's going to get good. Music, please, says Carol. Gotcha. Lurking while cutting my nephew's hair. I don't think I could do 2 things. If I'm cutting someone's hair, I pretty much need to be focused right on that. That's awesome. 1:15, Judge will be on time. We're going to be back at 1. We're going to be early. We're not going to miss anything. So we're going to be coming back. Katrina Bunny, thank you very much. See you later, alligators. My son asked me that question. How can you tell the difference between a crocodile and an alligator? And he was honest. I thought he was joking. I'm like, well, an alligator you'll see later, and the crocodile you'll see in a while. And he just stared at me like, I thought their noses were different shapes. so yeah, it didn't land. The joke didn't land. All right. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe. To go live again at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock with part 2 of today's Donna Adelson trial. Wendi still on the stand. Charlie, next topic of conversation. And Charlie might be called as a witness himself. We'll see how that goes. See you guys after lunch. Bye-bye.
If they didn't, I would lose my mind.